All right, welcome to the Mic'd Up Podcast. We've been gone for a couple weeks, had some problem uploading, had finals, work. Just really good to be back. No Christian this week, but DJ, he's back. Always welcome. Uh, let's kind of get right into it. Got a lot to talk about. I only got to catch the early windows this week. I worked the nights. Really, the only game showing was the Houston game, and I mean, I wasn't really too excited about that
Yeah,
one.
I don't. I try. I hate that living in the Houston area, we gotta be succumb to
It was it
watching
was
that.
a boring game,
It was so boring,
but
bro.
kind of watching the clips of what was going on throughout the day. I'll talk about the Cincinnati game. Really kind of vibe with Cincinnati. I love Joe Burrow, love Jamar Chase, LSU
Hey,
boys.
I was happy to see the Chargers finally rebound and play like they know how to play because they just been pickaboo. Hey, we here, then we not here. We here, then we not here. It's like,
Before we kind of get into the X's and O's, I saw that game. Just as a fan, how the Bengals came back, just Cincinnati. More important, Joe Burrow versus Justin Herbert, dude. The next 15, 20 years, as long as they can stay healthy,
yeah,
it's
it's
gonna be
gonna be a
real
showdown between
exciting.
the fact that they were drafted together and they're both just the franchise cornerstones of their team. Very fast. The moment they stepped on the field, dang near. Justin Herbert, he kind of gifted the keys early. We could do the other circumstances, but still. But yeah, it's gonna be.
And
I
really, this is their first year, I would say. Herbert kind of got the keys out of nowhere. Tyrod going
yeah,
down. Burrow got hurt last year. This is their first year, like team from the off season, fully healthy. Knock
yeah.
on wood, that they stay healthy.
It
Burrow,
could potentially be a wild card matchup because they're not gonna win their division either team, but. I guess the Bengals have a chance if the Ravens keep playing like they play it too.
it's
The AFC North is getting kind of tricky now because it's just like the Steelers. It's just like, okay, well, what do we do? And then the Browns are like,
I think three teams could win that AFC North. I really think the Browns are out.
you think
Technically,
so? They're
they're
6-6.
technically
They're
they're
not
in it.
out of
Technically
it.
they're in it, but you just get that feeling that they ain't there.
Yeah, with Baker banged up, and unless that run game comes back and they get Kareem Hunt and Chubb back healthy at the same time.
But the Steelers, dude, I'm getting this last ride vibe from that team. I feel like they're really going because Big Ben's already said this is his last year.
And
So
bro, I actually that last game I seen him heave some deep ones. I'm like, wait, it
so
seemed like Ben said,
kind of
man,
throwback,
forget it. If I get hurt or if my shoulder is busted or whatever, I'm just about to lay it out
a little throwback. But remember what they
there.
did with Jerome Bettis in his last year? They
Yeah,
won him a
yeah,
Super Bowl. You see
yeah.
what the Ravens did with Ray Lewis his last year,
They definitely have the defense that can take them there. And if
bro.
there's one
T.J.
thing,
Watt, bro. Oh my
yeah, if
god.
there's one thing that's consistent in pro football, no matter how things are interchangeable, like with offensive schemes and all this, if your defense is good enough, if your defense is solid, top five, you can win a championship. I don't care what your offenses
And
look
their
like.
offense is very serviceable. Don't get me
It,
wrong.
it, it they have the weapons. It's just a matter of if Ben can get them the ball. Najee Harris ran the ball well. That offensive line definitely has to run and protect better though. Like
You
they have
got
to run block. That's always been their thing.
you got a top three defense, an explosive offense when clicking, and an arguable top five coach. Not really arguable, just top five head coach.
Yeah,
They got the keys in place to.
they really do. When you look on paper,
They're the most
minus
Super
Ben
Bowl ready team in
Roethlisberger,
football.
they really like. I don't see any other court. Like if there's a free agent on the market, like you can't not look at that team off like on that offensively and be like, wow, what do I not have? Chase Claypool, Deont, freaking when Juju comes back, like he's hurt, but when he comes back, I
I think
like
he's out
their
for
tight
season.
end. I know, but
Right. Yeah.
well, he did only sign a 1 year, so we don't know what's going to happen with him. So
He might
I
come
don't
back.
know.
I don't think he really bettered his case to sign a bigger deal somewhere else.
That tight end, he has a weird last name and I can't think of it. Ah, crap!
I
It's
don't
gonna
know.
make me. It's gonna run me
Steelers go
mad.
through tight ends and kind of just. I think I know who you're talking about. I think it's the boy from Penn State,
I can't. It starts with an F. I'm pretty sure, but I can't. I can't
Mouth or
think
something
of it.
like that.
Fire Mutes, or something like that. Yeah, Fire Mutes.
Yeah, I think he's from
Yeah,
Penn
I
State.
like him. He made some. He made some good catches that game. That Sunday night game. He made some really good catches.
And okay, this is gonna feel weird. I promise you, I'm healthy. I'm okay. That 2 point conversion was not Lamar's fault. Usually, I'm a Lamar hater, doubter, whatever you want to call it.
Okay,
He had TJ in
you
his
know what?
face. It was.
Mark Andrews has had a problem this year, and he's been great. But there's been 3 or 4 times where I've seen him stick out one hand where he could have easily just laid out for two, bro. And I'm just like,
If he
bro,
would
you
have laid
gotta make
out,
the
I don't know if he
easier
gets in
catch.
though. If he
No,
lays
you could
out,
roll, bro. He could have rolled in
but
there.
he
I don't
wasn't
think
that wide open. If he catches it on the run, he scores. But he getting tagged down before he can roll in.
I think he was close enough to where if he can hurry up and hit the ground and extend his left arm, he's in. If you know where you are on the goal line and you're getting paid millions of dollars, bro, you should have that reflex. If you know, you just need to right there. If
But
you don't, you're not down till you get touched.
I do not blame Lamar for that one. I mean, he did the best he
I
could
don't
with
either.
what he had. He
Yeah,
was
he literally had you. He's about to he's getting creamed regardless.
TJ
But
Watt
he made the
was
best throw he could.
touching him like face mask to face mask almost, and he
Yeah,
just kind of flicked
like I
it.
s- like I said, Mark Andrews, like I feel like he didn't have to because like even the arm wasn't fully extended. It was like a let me try to smooth this in. Like, bro, like I played receiver and I used to, I like my freshman year, I remember having that. I used to try to do that. And coach was like, freaking lay out for the ball. Like, nah, bro, you can't be doing that
That
beautiful,
play, I
like
don't know.
that cute stuff.
For some reason, I just get the vibe that like, man, this dude had to be wearing contacts and they fall out because his depth perception was a little off on that. He it felt like he thought that ball was not that far
A
out.
little further than it was, yeah. Like he might have thought it was further than it was, and it might have kind of, yeah, like because like I said, I personally feel like he even could have just lunged slightly with two and still kept
I
his
also
balance and then
I,
reached.
I feel
I
like
didn't
he
think
was
he
also
needed to
looking
die.
upfield a little early. I think he was. I feel like he wasn't calmed and ready for that. The ball
Uh,
came his way. I think he was looking at the end zone. He freaked out.
yeah, I don't know, man. But in that situation, knowing that you're the go-to, you of all the players on that field should have been the most. I mean, Andrew talking
They
about he
really
should have
don't
been the
have
most.
another go-to receiver,
I mean,
especially not in the
man,
goal
I
line
guess
situation.
yeah. I mean, I guess Watkins never really panned out to be a true number one. Hollywood
They got a
Brown
bunch of
never
smaller
was. He's
guys.
just yeah. Hollywood Brown was just brought in to be an explosive guy to begin with. He's not going to be your every down
But you got a team full of
catch
Hollywood
guy.
Browns right now.
I like
You see,
Rashad Perryman, but I don't know what he just kind of. I don't. I just feel like I don't know. Maybe that offense just doesn't allow for that. There to breed a number one. I don't know. Like it just seems like Andrews would be the guy the way that their offenses ran. Like do a lot of play action. They'd work a lot of in the middle and then try to hit
you
an
really
occasional explosive play on the outside.
you look at the Chiefs and you look at the Ravens. Their teams are built very similar, very similar. Really good tight end and some really small, freakish athlete receivers. I know none of those receivers are Tyreek Hill, but
I,
they kind of
yeah,
built the
Tyreek,
same, if
I
you
would
ask me.
consider like a number one though. Like when you look at the way that like yeah, he goes deep, but that's just because I mean, like nobody can touch him, but like he runs every
Oh,
other route
Kelsey's
in
the
the
number one on
tree.
that team. Kelsey's the number one receiver. He ain't really a tight. He can block, but Kelsey a number one on
Well,
that team.
well, what I mean,
Same thing with
like when
Mark
it comes to
Andrews.
like their receiving core, like I mean, yeah, I guess Kelsey is like their number one option in the passing game, but like when it
That's what I'm
comes to like
saying.
their
Is there really
X,
a
Y,
number
and
one?
Z, it's Tyreek. Yeah, well, look at his receptions, bro.
I
He
know,
already damn near at 100 receptions for the
but
year.
look
Like
at
when
like
you
the
and he
receiving
get
core, how they're built. Really good tight end.
dude,
Really,
just
they're built very
okay. So
similar.
Fitz, I mean, yeah, I get that, but their offenses run completely different.
Well,
They may
I
have the
think
same
I trust
personnel
Mahomes. I trust Mahomes arm a lot more than I trust
similarities.
Lamar's. That Ravens
Yeah,
offense is
I
built for
mean,
Lamar to move.
yeah, it's built, but honestly, like I felt like if Lamar had somebody that was like, all right, we're going to nail this into you and not just let you get away with this doing it your way, then I feel like Lamar would have a different. But I mean, I feel like Harbaugh's like, all right, we're going to just kind of like do it your way, you know. And they have that's what they have works. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with that, but I'm just saying like there could be a Michael Vick showed that he could throw the ball. Like even though he used his legs still in Philly, he showed that he could use his up here and he could stay in the pocket and throw the ball downfield. It's not out the realm. I just feel like you have to put him in that position to develop. If you're not asking him to do that, then it's not going to get done.
I
If you're going to just say, "All right,
like
we
okay.
get by with running the ball like this," and so let's keep
Knock
doing it.
knock on wood. I do not want Lamar hurt, but hypothetically, Lamar gets some freak leg injury, torn ACL, something. Again, knock on wood. I really don't
That
want this to
last
happen. I don't know.
that
I don't
last game,
trust
I
Lamar to
almost thought
come
it was going
back
to happen.
and win with his arm.
I think if he knows he
Unless
would have to, then I mean, of course he won't be the same player, but I don't know. I just can't say he can't until he can't until
Lamar,
he proves that.
you know, you haven't watched UFC in a while. I'm trying to think of a good comparison. George St. Pierre. You know
I
George
watched
St. Pierre.
GSP back. Yeah, I watched
He,
GSP back when he was in his
yeah,
prime.
so do I think GSP was an elite striker? No. But his threat of taking you down is what
Yeah,
made his striking that good.
his
So I think Lamar compares. You take that running threat, his arm ain't nearly as lethal as it is. Honestly, I don't even think it's that lethal now. It's very good, but I think you take
the
away that
arm
run.
talent is there. What is the problem is up here. It's the processing. That's where like you gotta
And
think but like can he throw the ball deep like with the arm like his arm talent pure arm talent he could throw every throw in the freaking thing in the whatever throw you need him to throw he can make it like there's not he can throw touch he can throw the bomb he can throw bullets whatever but it's
this
up
hurts me to
here the
say.
progression the reads what that's what separates the Mahomes versus Lamar or whatever. It's the processing ability.
This hurts me to say, but I think Lamar got better arm talent than Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow,
Oh, but he does.
he does, and I'm not knocking. Joe Burrow has the arm strength to make every throw. I'm not saying
Oh
that,
yeah, of course.
but
But what you're
Joe
about to
Burrow's
say is
brain.
what the point that I made that's what separates is while Joe Burrow is going to be the one throwing 300 yards versus Lamar running for 300 yards. You know what I'm
Joe
saying?
Burrow.
Like or however.
Now I'm thinking Joe Burrow and Tom Brady. I really think are very similar players. I don't think Joe Burrow has that. I don't think he's where Tom Brady is. I don't think he's going to go down as the greatest of all time or anything. Granted, Joe Burrow's not playing with Bill Belichick either. So
If I was to compare Joe Burrow, I compare him more to a Drew Brees, the way he operates. Because they gave him the keys early to run the offense already. He's already able in his second year to like pretty much take command and call audibles and
he's
do whatever
mentally a
he wants.
veteran.
And
He's mentally a veteran. It's his team.
that's what I'm saying. And like, I mean, I'm not gonna say it's Peyton yet, because Peyton, he was the playbook. Like that man, he would go in and call the play. Like I ain't gonna say he doing that yet, but like being able to kind of just like orchestrate and like see and call things to a certain degree. I think it's very Drew as, and then like even with the arm, I think him and Drew comparably have the same type of arm talent. Like that had like they're not their velocity ain't gonna be fucking humming, but their
But Drew was
anticipation
also in a
is
better
super good.
out, especially we'll talk Drew starting getting when he's in New Orleans. Take away those years in Cincinnati. He was not Cincinnati in San Diego. He was good in San Diego, but he really came to be Drew in New
Oh yeah,
Orleans.
yeah, in New Orleans.
But Drew's in a better spot than Burrow was. I'm not talking team throwing in a dome compared to Joe Burrow throwing out here in Cincinnati with that arm strength. It's that's what I really compare him to Tom
Joe
Brady.
Burrow been thrown outside his whole life. That don't make a difference.
Burrow got that.
He's
Burrow's
from
got the arm to do
Ohio.
it.
He's from Ohio. So that I do not want to hear that excuse right there, which you just said. Take that all back. So, just because he throws in the dome.
No. I'm not saying I'm not saying Joe Burrow is going to be sucky because he throws outside. But you look at statistically, Drew Brees was a whole lot better in a dome than throwing outside. Imagine
he ain't
Joe.
been terrible throwing outside either.
He wasn't, but he was elite in a dome playing inside, and he was great playing outside. It was a difference.
Right, so with Peyton Manning, he was only good just playing in the dome.
But
or indoor facility.
My comparison for Joe Burrow is gonna be Tom Brady. It really is. Just that mental tenacity. I mean, that really I'm the best attitude with slightly above average arm talent. Just it's reminds me a lot of Tom Brady.
I'll give you that.
They got that very similar mentality. It really it's Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant mentality. That's how I see it. Not saying there's other quarterbacks out there that
I guess I
don't
really study Joe Burrow like that because I never really hear him or talk or nothing. So like me personally, because I guess I don't check for him, so I don't know how he behaves, to be honest. So I just don't know, but by the production I see on the field,
and I mean
it's just by how I see him operate. That's
that mental game, that what he is up here is a lot of what Tom Brady is. And I don't know if he's as smart as Tom Brady is, because that we talk how smart Tom Brady is, but I still think we underrate Tom Brady.
I mean,
just how smart that dude is.
20-something year. He's seen it all by now. But I mean, even Tom Brady was making mistakes early on.
I mean, I think the most useless job in the NFL is Tom Brady's quarterback coach, but Justin Herbert, I don't know, dude. I don't know what his head game like. He's a hard player, but he's such a friendly dude. He Phillip Rivers, bro.
But he's a very fiery guy. He's an ultra competitor.
Andrew Luck. That's who I'm going with.
What, for Justin Herbert comparison?
Yeah. I'm not talking athletically. I mean, even it's actually kind of similar now that I think about it.
If I was to compare Justin Herbert to somebody, let me think. I gotta think about this.
Justin Herbert give me that Andrew Luck vibe where I feel like Justin Herbert gets sacked and be like Andrew Luck and pat the dude on the helmet and say, "Good sack." Justin Herbert just smiles and I feel like he's just a great dude, honestly, but
he definitely is just a very nice guy. Like, I don't even know if he cusses or anything. Like, as long as I've known him, or like even like when I see him on like his like when they catch him on you just like on the Oregon Ducks doing stuff, like I never seen him really do anything he don't act like, I don't know, like a jock. I guess like I would say you wouldn't know he was a quarterback unless until you see him play, because he just don't act like a jock. You know what I'm saying? Like
he is surfer boy. It is what he is.
Yeah. He just he is a super.
He looked like he should be he should be an actor. Really.
He really do.
But Imagine Justin Herbert at Bama coming through college, dude.
Yeah, that never would have happened. He wanted to be an Oregon Duck the moment since he
I
was a
know,
kid.
but
He was an Oregon Duck for life.
I don't know if LSU wins that national championship with Herbert at Bama. I think Bama beats them.
Oh, on wins. Ooh, dang, I'd be hard pressed to say easy though. Like I damn near want to say easily, but I mean, you think Herbert's that much better than a
But you also
Tua
think
than
that
Tua?
LSU team is one of the best college football teams of all time, also. So
It was. I don't care who's coaching or who would play. Like I felt like
there's two teams I think
even with
rival that.
Herbert, like it would have been a good game. But you just can't say that like because that team was Justin
There's two
Jefferson,
college
Jamar
teams
Chase.
ever that I think rival that LSU team. That's that 2000s Miami team, and then you got that Miami team, the Andre
Yeah,
Johnson. Yeah,
yeah,
you know that
no.
team.
I got no.
And then honestly,
Every
that Bama team that followed the next year. I mean, you want to talk about offensive shootout? That would have been one.
It would have. Oh, you're talking about with oh yeah, Mac Jones and
When Devontae
Devontae. Oh
Smith
yeah,
wins the
that.
Heisman.
Ooh, yeah, yeah, that honestly would be dope. That would be a dope game to see. That would have been dope to
It's
see.
surprising they did that. Okay, I think Mac Jones is just a better quarterback than Tua. But imagine Mac Jones on that starting a year earlier, because not only do you have those
Yeah.
weapons, now you got I can't even what's his name out there. He's in Denver right now. Jerry Judy and Henry Ruggs
Oh,
on that team, along with Jalen Waddle and Devontae Smith.
yeah.
I mean,
Crazy.
sad where it's sad where Henry Ruggs is now, but all on college, bro. That was
Yeah.
one roster
All on one team.
with Josh Jacobs in the
Dang, how do you?
backfield.
Oh, dang, yeah. I forgot. Yeah, I forgot.
I'm
Dang.
starting to think Tua was holding
And
him
Najee
back.
Harris. And you got Najee Harris who just came out too. So shoot. They've been loaded there too.
I think they were all about freshmen or something. Derrick Henry was there.
Oh my God.
I
That'd be
hate Bama.
crazy.
Just thinking about it, I hate Bama. Bro, that team could have beat Detroit this year.
Yeah, easy. Yeah, easy. Yeah, I don't know why I had to think about that. I don't know why I had to think about that.
Yeah, so let's get in this Monday night game. I
3 passes. That's all I
do
could
you, do
think
you,
of. Is
so do
just
you, do
it's
you think
like
it's
that
like
shocks me,
do you think this game is an exception with the weather and how it had to be played, or do
bro.
you
The
actually
weather
think
is going to
do
be
you think the
bad in
Pats are
Buffalo.
do you think
It's
do
going
you
to be
think the
worse in
Pats are that much
Buffalo.
better?
I think they're better because this is not going to look. Like I was watching. What was I watching? I was watching something earlier, and they made whoever was watching, they made a great point because I was literally thinking the same thing. Like name another time you're going to see an NFL team attempt 3 passes, bro. This is specifically a game plan that they put in for that one game. That one game. The next game they play, they're not going to do that again. You think they're going to do that again?
Even when they play against Buffalo next time, they're not going to do that.
Exactly. Like that's not a
You're
formula
talking
that's
25
like
mile
that's
per hour winds.
bro. I mean, they might still run the ball hella times, but I
I
just
think
like I feel like the Patriots didn't have to show any gadgets or gimmicks that game. They just smash mouth them in the mouth, and that's something that the Bills have to just swallow. Like, dang, they didn't even like out trick us or anything. They just came out and smashed us in the mouth. That's worse. So the next game, they know that all right, they already are the more physical team. So now it's gonna come down to scheme. We don't know what you're gonna do because we know you're not gonna do the same thing you did last game. You're not just gonna do 3 passes. That's not gonna happen.
but I think they caught him by surprise. You realize once the Bills figured
Yeah,
it
they
out,
caught him by surprise.
they weren't dominating them like they were. They didn't
Oh,
score
the
in the
game was
second
still
half.
winnable. The game was still winnable. The game was still winnable. They had 2 tries at the end, but Josh Allen didn't make throws that he needed to make.
Oh,
Uh, He didn't make the throws he
penalties.
needed to
I think
make.
the discipline and
Oh, the penalties killed him too. They had costly
you
penalties.
asking Josh Allen to make a 3rd and 4th and 17, throwing into the 25-mile-per-hour wind.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Dawson Knox should have had that touchdown catch. But
I don't know.
I think better conditions come week 17 or week
It's
18.
not
That
gonna
feels
get any
weird to
better in
say, bro.
Foxborough.
That feels weird to say.
Yeah.
Week 18.
Yeah.
Whatever, the last week of the regular season, when they play again, I as long as it ain't no
It's gonna be
25
the
mile per
weather's
hour
gonna be
winds,
even worse, and yeah, what I mean, it ain't gonna be as windy, but it's still gonna be cold, cold as balls.
I don't think it was the temperature. And you're asking for half the game. You want your quarterback, who is a top 3 to 5 quarterback in the league, to throw into 25-mile-per-hour winds. And he was
40 times. The problem
overthrowing
is how
people.
many times.
He
The
was
problem is how
overthrowing in
many
the wind.
times. Yeah.
So
I mean, you should expect that his arm is already hella strong, and I don't know if he knows how to take off. You
well,
know, like
I think
but though
I
he's so
think
used to making.
I think he was so worried about not leaving it short that he was, because you throw it into that wind. I think he's so worried about getting it there that he was just sailing it. But
I just feel like the Bills set that. I mean, the Bills wanting to throw the ball majority of the time is just going to, like I was saying in the tech, like in the when we was texting, like it's. I think the way that their scheme is set up is not built for playoff football, and you
Devin
have to attack.
Singletary and
Bro,
Zachary
you
Moss
play
are
in
not the
Buffalo, New
option.
York, but you got to make them the option. Like you play in Buffalo, New
Dude,
York, bro.
play Matt Breida, dude. That's what I'm asking personally. Bills, I know you're not listening, but please, by the force of God, send this message. Start Matt Breida.
Matt Breida ain't some guy that's just going like he's not the ground. He's a speedy guy that he can break one, but I don't think you
But
just
he
give him the
would
ball. Like
he would put them in the best option.
you think? I like Zach Moss to be honest, the best.
But you know Zach Moss in there, he ran between the tackles. Same thing with
I think
Devin
that's what they
Singletary.
need. But I think
Matt
Devin
Breida can do
Singletary is more
everything.
of the.
Matt Breida can do anything you need him to do.
To me, he's a one cut back. Like when I see Matt Breida, he's a one cut. He doesn't have much lateral quickness. He's a one cut guy and up the field. And I feel like that's kind of like not how their running game is set up.
If regardless of what happens this year with the Bills, whether they go on a run and win it all or not, that's
I
something
don't
that
think
really
this
needs
is
to
the year.
be.
They had more synergy last year. They were more poised to do it last year, if anything. This year, I mean, Diggs just don't seem like he's having as productive of a season or
Or
even
you
a
also got
part
to
of the
think
offense as much as he was.
Diggs is
I
now
know.
the
I
focal
know.
point to cover now.
Yeah, I get that, and you got Sanders there and stuff, and then Dawson Knox has emerged, and you still got Cole Beasley, but it just feels like he still is just like Diggs has just been like taken completely out of games sometimes, and it's just like when you have all those weapons, you can't still be somebody that a team can still double team anymore. That can't be the case because like you can't be double teaming him and leaving Emmanuel Sanders open and Cole Beasley. Like you can't. You got to take those guys into account.
Let's see. So I think the Bills, Kenneth Walker, are going to go pro this year. He needs to be the guy they aim for. If you're talking about a position they need to draft this year, it's running back.
Yeah, their defense is straight. Their receiving core straight. They got a good tight
Quarterback
end.
straight. O-line
Quarterback.
serviceable. O-line could use some work, but that could be
They
used
could probably
second,
do a
third
little
round
bit
free
better run
agency.
blocking. They could probably do a little bit better run blocking. Maybe I feel like having those three backs like that we named are capable backs even by committee if they can get some decent holes. I mean, you would think with a pass game like that, teams are going to be loose in the box, and they're not going to be stacking the box. You should have running lanes.
There's 2 running backs I would aim for this year. In fact, I don't know if Kenneth Walker's my
I can
favorite
name
one.
2 off: Kenneth Walker, Brees Hall.
Brees Hall, yeah, but the Isaiah Spiller at A&M, he's probably my favorite.
Isaiah Spiller, I like him.
I think he's more NFL ready.
I think he's a junior. I don't know. Robinson from Texas, dude. That kid is a workhorse.
Oh, Bijan Robinson.
What's his
I
name?
think he's a sophomore.
Bijan Robinson. No, I think he's a junior, bro. I think he's a junior.
I'm about to find out.
But dude, if
he got to be a sophomore. He's only 19. Yeah,
he's sophomore. Okay, but boy, that kid there,
he'll be a top 10 pick
Sarkisian gonna have something to work with next year, bro. If they keep, I know we're getting back on college, but man, I really liked him. The games that I saw him, I'm like, oh, this kid right here. If Texas was in a winning situation, the country would know more about him.
And he's got one more year to kind of really. But the Bills, with those 3 running backs, I really think they'll have a chance to pick up one of those 3 because running back's not really a need for many teams in the NFL.
Yeah.
Really, the 2 teams playing last night, but Damian Harris went off before getting kind of dinged up.
I mean, he had that big run.
Game was working.
He had that big run. I like, dude, they ran the ball 46 times for like 226 yards. Like, I mean, they just I mean, and then you take into consideration they only threw the ball 3 times. It's like,
yeah, I know the average.
We know that we're going to run the ball,
and they still did that.
Stop it anyway. Like, are you going to stop it?
Granted,
anyway?
they really did stop it in the second half.
They slowed it down. But I mean, like that
they
one
didn't score
run,
a point in the second half.
But that one big run was really that decided the game because I mean the Bills really couldn't get nothing started either.
But who knows how many points to score? You know how many points the Bills score if they don't get that muff punt? Well, muff punt, the one that bounces into the face mask.
True. But N'Keal Harry also had a fumble, so that got negated.
So it's. The Bills, I feel like they could move the ball. Just they couldn't score. It's just that's what it comes down to. You got in order to win a football game, you got to score. It's not much more complicated than that.
I mean, most points wins a game. You're gonna have to be able to. I mean, you know what? And you know what? At this point, if McDermott gonna have to be like, all right, you know what? We might have to take a page out the damn Ravens book and. Josh Allen, you're going to have to be our quarterback, damn it, and our running back. Because sometimes you're our best running option. You're 6'5", 240 pounds, and you can push the pile. We might need to do some freaking design QB runs and get you in the end zone on the goal line. Like, it's that, stack it up, make the running back. We might need to get a fullback just so we can do like that old Carolina formation where they would have like the fullbacks in front of Cam and they would literally just go run and be lead blocking for Cam straight to the goal line. You might have to hit him with one of them. Like,
I know this week really solidified my thoughts of the Colts being the front runners in the AFC.
The Colts scare me, but it's like they're one of those teams like they know their identity, right? They know that they're a running team. They know
they can pass. They're very capable of passing. And you got,
okay. They can move the ball, but I just want something more from them. Like
they're not exciting. They're not exciting.
They're not exciting. That's for sure.
They're going to methodically work their way down the field, score a point, and they're going to shut you down on defense. Is what they're going to do.
Had that one scary big play threat though, just that one Hollywood Brown type, like what's that rookie from Moore, Rondell Moore type guy. Like if they just had one of those, then they would be just like. Then I would be like,
what they're going to be addressing in the draft.
Oh yeah. They're gonna need something explosive, or in the free agency. I thought they would have been perfect for getting Deshaun Jackson. but they let the Raiders get him. I thought Deshaun Jackson should have tried. Like that would have been a perfect situation.
At the time, the Colts weren't really a front runner. I think Deshaun was
Yeah.
picking front runners at the time, and the Raiders were hot. But the Colts are getting a bye week this week in week 14. You want to talk about getting
I
some
know, so
big,
late in the season.
I know it's. I hate it. I
Yeah.
hate it so much.
So
You're
late
telling
in the
you want me.
season.
You want them to
But
go play
it gives
13
you a
weeks in a
curse.
row without a bye week. But now
could
they
be a
real
gift or a
rested for the
curse.
playoff run.
Yeah, like I mean, they like if there are any injuries right now, because this is usually like injury time. You this middle season or past mid season, this is where the injury bug starts to kick in. So now you got that extra week for everybody to try to come get back. You know what I'm saying?
This is
Or
the
if
this
you
is a
made
chance
any
for the
trades at the
Colts to take
deadline
it.
for them to get acquainted.
Oh man, I don't know. The Colts got a
They
rough
definitely
little
going. I think
stretch.
they can definitely take the division because they'll beat the Titans again.
So let's see the run that they're about to do. They have a bye week this week. They come back. They got the Patriots, the Cardinals,
Oh
the
yeah, they got to
Raiders,
play Cardinals and Patriots back to back.
then the Raiders, and then you got Jaguars and Titans. No, they don't play the Titans again. Jaguars. They end up on the
They already
Jaguars.
Yeah, they already played Tennessee. I think they've been went 1-1. Sure.
I think they split the series this year,
Yeah, that's what I said. They split the series.
but that was when Derrick Henry was healthy and
Yeah,
playing.
the second game was when he was out. Oh, nice.
It's kind of the Eagles. I wasn't really expecting. Granted, I didn't know Minshew was starting either, so I'm kind of seeing the score show up in the bottom. I'm like, I was not expecting Eagles Jets, especially in the beginning. Their points were going up fast, both sides in the first
Yeah.
half.
Oh, it was the first quarter. The freaking score was like 18-20. Like most of the scoring was done in the first quarter.
I think Zach Wilson came back and he's kind of showing that. All right, he's making some progress.
He played really solid that first half. He played really good the first half because they was in the game. And in the second half, I just feel like they ran out of life. And the Eagles running game started to gas out that defense because Miles Sanders ran for $146. I was so happy to see that. I was so happy to see my boy finally get his 100 piece, man, because hey, they was like neglecting him.
So you're telling me without Jalen Hurts, the Eagles somehow found a way
Still ran for 100 yards
to run the ball good, to actually commit to the run game, and still line it up in the passing game.
Yep.
I think we
Because
found the
Dallas
problem.
Goedert had 2 touchdowns and like 116, I believe.
I think we found the problem.
I mean,
I don't think Jalen Hurts is it. I've been saying that since he's drafted.
This is Hurts' second year. Of course, I don't think he really has the when you compare
He
him to like somebody like Gardner
He
Minshew.
couldn't get it done at Bama. He got replaced by a freshman in Tua in the championship game.
But what was
he has
the
to transfer to
that,
OU?
though?
He goes and lights up a Big 12 defenses, gets to the playoffs, and then gets blown out by 40 by LSU.
Bro, everybody was going to get blown out by that team.
Hey, Clemson was the only team to have a double-digit lead. They did that the following week. Bama played it close. Auburn played it close. But when Jalen Hurts was forced to play a real defense in college, got shut down.
But Jalen Hurts was the only thing that was really. Do you remember watching that game? Jalen Hurts was the only one trying to keep them alive in that game.
I go back and still watch that game.
He was the only one trying to keep them alive in that game.
But trying and executing are two different things.
Yeah, bro. But when the rest of the team just ain't with it, and he's getting freaking Clemson's defensive line was atrocious. Not atrocious, but they were like beasts.
LSU's offensive line when they did that.
I mean, I don't know why I said Clemson. LSU. Yeah, LSU. I mean, and come on. I mean, like you said yourself, the Big 12, that offensive line had not faced a defensive line like that all year. All year.
Yeah, but you expect your Heisman finalist quarterback to at least keep you competitive.
With no blocking, bro. What do you want him to do?
I know that defense got torched for like almost 70 points.
What do you want?
I'm not saying that they should have won the bit. Jalen wasn't even keeping it competitive.
Bro, you're saying Jalen like he's the only one on the offense, bro. Like that there's 5 guys in front of him that have to keep him safe enough to get the ball out of his hands. In the
But I'm
moment
bringing
he
it back. Even
snaps,
when he was
he's
at
running.
Bama, even when he was at Bama, he was not very productive.
He's productive to get him to the damn playoff, and then they replace him.
Oh, so Bama making the playoff. I mean, he can't win
He
with
hadn't
Bama.
done anything.
He can't
He
win
hadn't
with
done
Bama in
any.
college.
Bro, look,
Bama wins
the
with
thing that gets
everybody.
me about that situation is he hadn't done anything to lose that job, but for some reason they just gave the starting job to Tua because they felt that he could do more to lift the team.
Uh,
So I'm just
to
like but
getting
he didn't
down,
do nothing to lose. He
getting
didn't
down like
lose.
he
How
was
do you
losing. They
not
would have
lose and get
lost.
your spot taken? They would have lost. Oh, they would have lost. You were speculating that they were going to lose with Jalen Hurts, so you pull them.
I mean, down like 20 points in the playoff in the championship game, and then Tua comes in and wins the game. I
Oh
mean,
yeah, I forgot about that. I forgot. I
Tua came
totally
in and
forgot
win the
about that.
game,
I totally forgot about that.
or Georgia,
I
but
totally forgot about that.
he lost the job.
Yeah,
If Tua
yeah,
went
he
out there and
did.
choked it,
I
Jalen
don't
would
know
have
why
started
I
his
went
senior
blank
year.
on that. I
If
completely
Tua didn't
forgot
do
that
what
he
he
completely
did,
lost it.
but and Jalen came back and he sat behind Tua and had his chance to win the job back. Because you remember Jalen Hurts actually won the job back at the end of the SEC championship game when Tua was sucking. Jalen came in, won the game for him, and then lost it again the next game.
That's a roller coaster ride season.
So Jalen Hurts has always been a athletic quarterback that plays with all his heart. He doesn't have the tools necessary to be a franchise quarterback. I don't think he has the confidence to be a franchise quarterback. He does not trust his arm, and it shows. He is
Yeah,
very
he
eager to
definitely
take
doesn't
off.
trust his arm. Yeah, that's his first notion is to take off.
He's just and being in the NFL, he's no longer the best athlete on the field.
No.
I mean, the defensive tackle is just as good of an athlete as he is. They're in the NFL. They're starting in the NFL for a reason. It's not like I'm out there
And I
playing nose
mean,
tackle.
Minshew, man, the way he played, it made me really optimistic about what our offense could be.
And I don't know.
Like,
I don't think my prediction, Minshew isn't the starting quarterback the rest of the season, but I damn well believe there's going to be a quarterback bout in the offseason.
there
If
should
not,
be.
free Minshew. Minshew need to be somewhere he can start.
It's like you can't bring. He doesn't need to be brought in as a backup because, like, bro, I even thought like when I was like, man, he's talented. Like he came from an air raid offense. I know he can throw the ball. Like you came up under Mike Leach. I know you can throw. Like his processing ability is great too. Like when you see him, like I mean, not great, but it's good. Like and he can get better.
And I like Taylor Heineke, but you're telling me you got Taylor Heineke, Cam Newton. I mean, I know the Bears got their future Justin Fields, but you got Andy Dalton starting, Daniel Jones, and Minshew can't even start over Jalen Hurts right now. I mean, I know that you're investing in what you drafted, so I know you got to kind of hope
I mean,
that
yeah,
Jalen works out.
second round, you kind of got to give him a chance to see if he's going to develop.
But I think he was a reach that year anyway.
He was. He's definitely a reach. They could have got it for way cheaper. Way cheaper.
And I think it's part of the reason Carson kind of melted. I think he kind of saw, they drafted someone in the second round, and I think he pressed.
Yeah.
So, but you have Carson Wentz, and you're drafting a quarterback in the second round, and
you could have been giving him a weapon.
Before last year, Carson Wentz, he was the only good thing about that team. Miles Sanders, yeah, he was there, but he wasn't really. He knew what he could be.
Yeah.
And I don't think Carson Wentz gets. I don't know if Carson Wentz gets given the boot if the Eagles draft Justin Jefferson instead of Jalen Reagor.
Yeah.
Jetta's on that team, and then
I think hypothetically
they get
drop the ball
freaking
so
Smith.
hard on that.
Hypothetically, they still get Smith this year. You talking about Jay Jettis and Smith as your fucking starting receivers?
That would have been hellacious, bro.
Well, Miles Sanders as your running back. I mean, Carson
But I
Wentz,
like Rager, but he's not no Jefferson.
he's a knockoff Deshaun Jackson.
The
He's
kid
Deshaun
definitely can
Jackson
move. I
now.
just feel like he just needs to get the opportunities.
John Ross. I can name these little, quick, fast muscle twitch guys that just don't work out. Deshaun Jackson worked out. Don't get me wrong, but
Yeah, he worked out, but his injury problems also.
Jalen Rieger plays like Deshaun Jackson does now. I mean, he's not it. I mean, not it compared to Jettas or Judy. I mean, I think Judy went before, but oh man, I'm not even Eagles fan, and I hurt watching y'all's draft decisions.
Yeah, they're head scratchers. Cause I remember when we like I had to look up who Jalen Rager was, like once, and I was just like, and I seen the tape, and I was like, all right, the kid definitely can. But a lot of it was mostly what I saw were screens and stuff, and then fly routes. I didn't see a lot I didn't see a lot of everything. Not like what you would see from a Justin Jefferson highlight tape.
I mean, Devontae Smith is good. Don't get me wrong. I would have taken Micah Parsons over Devontae Smith. I think Micah Parsons might be the best player in the draft this year.
Yeah,
That's
but we
saying
didn't
something. It was a really good
I
draft.
guess. I mean, we definitely could have used a middle linebacker. It definitely wouldn't have hurt,
And
especially an explosive one like that.
there were some
But
receivers
at the
farther
same
down the
time,
list that y'all could have got
we
too.
needed a top premier guy, and I do think Smith is going to grow into be a premier guy.
Oh,
I
I do
already
too.
think
I
he's
do
having
too.
a great. I think he's having a great rookie season. I think given what he's
And
the opportunity that he's given, he's having a great,
he's
as
just
good
getting
a season he could
overshadowed because
have.
he's getting overshadowed. It was a big quarterback class. Justin Jefferson kind of balled out in the beginning of the season.
And he's just not getting as many
he's not getting the
opportunities
shine
because
that he
he's
should.
playing with the running. He's playing there. I mean, I like Jalen Hurts. They got the little Alabama connection, but I feel like say Minshew starting week 1, he probably have at least 10 more targets and receptions by now. Like,
I
maybe
mean,
more. Because I think
it
they
might be
throw the
and
ball a little
honestly
bit more
it might be
efficiently.
okay that he's not getting targeted. Not targeted, not getting the
Keep him
shine.
fresh.
I mean, I think him not getting the shine that he should be this year will actually benefit him next year because hopefully Minshew or a capable quarterback will be starting next year. And you got this guy that no one's really paying attention to. Oh, it was a rookie, he had a decent year. He comes out
But
here and he balls out.
I don't think that would be the case. I think for what he's doing now, like what he's showing, like in the opportunity he's given, like he's making the play. He makes plays. Like when you look at his stat line, he'll have 5 catches, 70 yards, 6 catches, 8, 60 something yards. I think he broke 100 yards like maybe twice or 3 times this season. Like he's had a few 100-yard games. But like he's productive. He doesn't drop the ball that much. He gets open. I mean, his route running was very sought out after. I think this, like his being his rookie year in the NFL, there's been times where I haven't seen that route running really like shine. Like there's been times where I've been seeing people kind of like stick on him, but I think that's more so due to his upper body strength or lack thereof of his upper body strength, and like your footwork on some routes aren't going to win you every battle. Sometimes you need to have a certain strength to learn how to lean in and stack the corner and be able to push off or whatever. And if they're more physical with you at the line of scrimmage and you're not able to get that type of leverage, then you can't get into your route like you want. So that's also going to have to be a thing he addresses. This ain't college. These are NFL big boys. They're gonna be able to get you off the route a little bit better. So if you want to be able to, run these comebacks or, where you have to stack on top and then try to drop and break out, you know what I'm saying? Then
He has the
you're
ability,
gonna
the
have to.
footwork to be an elite
His
receiver.
footwork and all that stuff is definitely great. But like I said, I just feel like he definitely needs to add a little bit more upper body strength.
And all that's the only thing keeping him from being a second coming of Chad Ochocinco.
And even then, well, because like mm,
I'll
Deshaun
say
is a weird case because he's never been like he's always been a little guy, but I feel like they've used him in gadget ways. Like I feel like how Smith is used, he's a number one guy. Like he's going to be outside the numbers a lot,
and he
even
got
if
that
they
jump
do
ball
motion
ability.
him.
I mean,
Yeah,
Devontae,
like
he's
he
unlike Deshaun
he's an
Jackson.
outside guy.
He kind of tall. He's got the frame to be that number one guy. He's just kind of skinny. He
He's
just got to put some
lanky and
muscle.
long. Yeah, he's just supers. I mean, 175 and what Lattimore just picked that boy up by the waist and just
No
when he played the
disrespect,
Saints. I was
but
just like, dang, you had to do him like that.
I think you're one big receiver away from, dude. I think Juju Smith-Schuster should be y'all's free agent target.
I would like it. I mean, he would have to
That
move
way
too
you can
far
kind of
from
use
home.
Devontae Smith in like a CD Lamb type of way. You don't got to put him outside all the time. You can work him everywhere. But I don't know. The Cowboys are hard to judge because you got three number one caliber receivers on that team. But because even Michael Gallup could be a
Mm,
number one somewhere.
I think he's a solid number two. I think he drops way too many balls to be a number one. And that's like going back like about 3 seasons. He's consistent on dropping balls and in some eerie times. Sometimes I'd be like, dang, boy, you really messed yourself up right there. Because he's known to drop some. Trust me, I hate the Cowboys and I love to cheer for against them. So
I really hope Michael Gallup doesn't leave that team.
I mean, I don't think they're going to be able to. I mean, he is
They're
good.
they're not gonna be able to pay him.
He's gonna he's gonna garner money. Yeah, he's gonna garner a lot of attention on the free agent market. It's gonna be impossible to keep all three
Fucking,
of them for the
why not
prices
see? I
that they'll
have a
be
feeling
asking
he go to
for.
Patriots.
The Patriots ain't gonna pay him what he's asking for, what he's gonna ask for on the open market. I don't
Yeah,
think.
but
'Cause I think he's gonna.
depending on
I
what
think.
they do, I can see him going there and
Well,
getting a year
to
or
be
two
honest, I
in.
don't think the fact that he was hurt most of the year, he might not be able to ask for too much unless he balls out in the
No,
playoffs.
he's been healthy this year. He's been the only healthy one of the three.
Michael Gallup just came back a few weeks ago.
I think you're thinking about Amari Cooper, dude. Because Cooper and CD were the two that were out. Gallup's been the one playing all season.
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure Gallup just came back a few weeks ago, bro. Because because number one, he's been their third option for majority of the year, and Gallup just came back a few weeks ago, or if not last week. Yeah, bro. Who's number one on their team on the
Cedric Wilson.
Cowboys? Cedric Wilson. He's been their number three for most of the
No,
year because Gallup's been
He came
hurt.
in. He was the number two with Gallup as our number one, like Thanksgiving week and all that. That was
Bro, that was
with Cooper
look,
being
I'm
out
about
for
to
a few
look up this.
weeks.
Hold up.
You're not gonna find injury reports from a few weeks ago, probably.
No, I'm
Looking
about to
for 'em.
show. I know a way to show to find out what I'm looking for.
You're just gonna look at their scores and go back a couple weeks.
I'm gonna look at the team stats and I'm gonna look. I'm gonna
Yeah,
show
that's what I'm
you.
talking about.
It's gonna no. Just I'm just go to the team stats. If I can. Oh my god. Let me click on the teams.
Well, I know that we had a problem getting the video up from this last week, but I made the prediction about the Vikings making a playoff push.
And they get beat by the
Well, that
Lions.
turned on me fast.
They get beat by the.
I don't even know why I brought it up last week. I could have the footage is gone. It's not going out.
Bro,
I could have
how?
protected myself. I don't know why I just ratted myself out, but
You can't take that one back.
Zimmer got to be gone.
Oh my god. Yeah, that was just like I know Zimmer is just looking like I coach y'all sons of bitches. I really coach you sons of bitches. I'm gonna leave next year. I'm tired of this.
He'll get fired.
Yeah, probably so. Cause they have too much talent, bro. They just got way too much talent to be
They're
six
another
and
one of those
six.
teams. They're another one of those teams. You look at the talent and then you look at the production. It don't match.
And honestly, like I can't even say is Kirk Cousins a problem?
No,
Is he a problem at all?
no, he's not. He is not.
What's
I,
his
I
what's his
I don't know about
touchdown
this
to
last week. I don't know
interception
about this
ratio
Lions
this
game.
year?
I don't know about this Lions game. But I think he's
My
like
phone
top
just
3 in
died, so I
passing
can't look
yards
up
too this year.
anything. I don't care about the yards. What's the touchdown to interception ratio? Are you giving the ball to the other team, and are you scoring more than that is being the case? And give me just one second.
He's 25-3 touchdown to interception ratio.
Okay, so it's not his fault. The games are not his fault.
69% passing for 3,353 yards. He's not the problem. He's having an MVP caliber season on a shitty team. Well, not shitty team, but shitty.
No sense. How do you like Deshaun Watson? Same thing. How do you go for career highs and excuse me, everything, and then that like doesn't transition to wins like that? Especially like being quarterback, like you're being efficient with the ball. Like how does that translate?
Mike Zimmer is just such a passive coach. He doesn't gamble.
He is very conservative. He is super conservative, bro. Like he don't go for fourth like that. Like he will freaking punt. Like
he plays like
he's on.
He plays like
their
New
half
England
of
in
the
this past
50.
week. He plays like New England in this past week every game.
Punt. He will punt when he's on like cross the 50. I'm just like, bro, you're like at the 45. Like, go for it.
Fourth and one on the 45, dead man zone.
You got
he'll punt it.
Like,
yeah.
come on, you got Justin Jefferson. Like, you don't have faith in your team.
You have one of the most.
You got teams with lesser talent with coaches with more faith in their team.
you got Jettas, you got Thielen, you got Dalvin Cook. Like
you gotta believe that somebody gonna make a play.
I think they got themselves a pretty good tight end who's coming onto the scene too.
I don't know. I know they got rid of Rudolph.
Yeah, but it needed to be done. Not that Rudolph is bad, just I think they did what they needed to.
Yeah, I don't think he wasn't transcended like he was supposed to. Like he wasn't a transcended tight end.
His prime's really past him.
Yeah.
He's not worth the money that he was wanting, especially at this point in his career. So I think they saving some money, really just replacing a tight end with play that can be replicated by any other tight end.
Yeah. Tight end is one of those positions that I feel like it's kind of easier to plug in.
I can't name a thing with the Vikings outside of Mike Zimmer that really just that's the reason they're losing. I can't.
You think it's just management, game management? I mean, some of the games, like the Cardinals game, they lost on a freaking, missed field goal.
Okay. Game management.
I mean, shit like that don't help. Yeah, like their special teams has definitely been a Achilles heel.
Since that Walsh
stuff
kick.
Like that.
Ever since that Walsh kick.
Really, the Achilles heel for a while, for years. Yeah, they've been cursed for a minute now. Yeah, what was it like against was that against the Packers, right? Was that against the Packers?
I don't.
They was like on the freaking 20. Though, dude, he was so close to the freaking.
Yeah,
it was an extra point, and it was like an extra point distance, bro. And this dude still missed it. I'm like, how do you miss that? It was an extra. I could have swore it was against that playoff game was against the Packers, like the divisional playoff.
Seahawks.
It was like a divisional round. It was the Seahawks. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just searched up the video.
Yeah. That was Blair Walsh, right? Blair Walsh,
yeah.
Yeah.
He was never the same after two.
Yo, his confidence was shot. His confidence was shot after that. Like, you can't make an extra point. Like, come on. I mean, it wasn't an extra point, but it was extra point distance.
It wasn't an extra point then, but it is now. Because
Yeah,
I
like
think that was the year right before the rule change too.
like. But now people missing extra
Oh
points
no,
so
that's
commonly
2016.
now.
That
I
was
bet
when I
you,
moved back.
yeah, everybody missing that range now. So it's so common that I mean now he probably be like, see, y'all mad at me. I mean, we still mad. That was a playoff game.
I kind of want to transition. We talk NFL a lot. We kind of teeter tatter with college, but
Okay.
it's as big as a week
Yeah,
as it
this
usually
is
gets.
yes, sir.
I mean, I'll get to
For
LSU farther
one,
down the line because I follow them, and it's getting really hard to just read the news. But
so what we gonna do? We're gonna make our predictions. Cause like, how do you feel? What do you feel about the top four teams in general right now?
I want to get to the predictions. I want to talk about this Bama Georgia game first before I get into those because this is going to kind
Are
of lead
they?
into that. This Bama
Oh yeah,
Georgia
Bama's
game.
number one and Georgia's three, right? Oh,
Yeah,
okay, yeah. So it's one and three and two
once
and four. I thought it was 1 and 4 and 2 and 3.
no, because the top seed plays the lowest seed, and then the two middle ones will play each other.
Right. So one plays 4 and then 2 plays
Yeah,
3. Georgia's ranked number 3.
yeah, they're playing Michigan
So it's gonna be okay. So Georgia, Michigan.
and
Okay.
Bama
Oh, so you
Cincinnati.
just want to talk about the game, the previous game?
I want to talk about this. Yeah, kind of recap this last week a little bit.
Oh, okay. I got you. I got you. Hey,
Actually,
Bryce
let's talk
Young.
the Cincinnati hit. Let's talk about the Cincinnati Houston game. That was kind of the first one I kind of watched. I watched the game
I didn't even
before
get to
that.
much as I hyped that game up. I didn't even. I caught like the highlights after, and I seen that the Houston just they wasn't ready. They wasn't as ready as I thought they were. I thought they was gonna be ready, and
Cincinnati.
that
I
Cincinnati
wish I had
team
the
said, "No,
fit.
y'all not taking this from us."
I know it kind of hurt me because I brought it myself up. I really wish I had the video evidence from last week because my prediction was either the moment's gonna be too big or Cincinnati's gonna go out there and physically dominate them, which is what happened. I think the running back almost went for 200 yards on them, dude.
Yeah,
They out
Desmond Ritter
physical,
didn't even have to. Yeah, Desmond Ritter didn't even have to do that much. He didn't have to do anything
but it
besides take care
was.
of the ball.
I'm trying to think of the game I watched at 11 o'clock because that was the one I watched all the way through. Oh, no, Baylor Oklahoma played. Was that? Yeah, that was the game I watched. That Baylor Oklahoma State game. Man, dude, I predicted Baylor to win. I did. I
I
really.
actually thought that Oklahoma State was going to win, but
They should have
Sanders,
won. They
all
should
them
have won.
turnovers, they still was in the game. But those turnovers, bro, the turnovers.
Baylor didn't win the game, but Baylor didn't lose the game.
Nah,
Is what
that
happened.
that that last stop, dude. That game came to inches, bro.
It did,
Inches,
but Baylor didn't go out there and shoot themselves in the
inches.
foot.
They
How many
didn't.
interceptions did that kid have? Four
Sanders threw at
interceptions.
least 3 or 4. Yeah, I was about to say Sanders threw 3 or 4 for sure.
31
So
for 40.
4.
If you take away the interceptions, 31 for 46 for 257 yards. That's a good stat line.
Granted, yeah, because
Four
granted, one of those
interceptions.
was on a screen that he was trying to hurry up and get rid of, and the defensive lineman just happened to be there and make the play on it, and he was getting hit. So
And
I
it
was just
just
like, how do you see that?
that team relies too much on him, and you get to him, and he's having to make some plays, and I
Some of
I
those,
know
like one of those interceptions, he just threw right to the safety. I'm just like, where are you going with the ball? What is he
he was
looking
just
at?
I think he was pressing too much,
He was pressing. He was definitely pressing because, like, with
especially after
that,
those
I'm
first
just
two
like,
picks. He
he was trying to
really
make too much happen.
I think he felt guilty for his bad play in the beginning and just I watching the game
They was
the
driving to
game
start that second half.
watching the game it felt like Baylor was way farther ahead than they really were.
Yeah,
Just
I agree.
because not Cincinnati, Oklahoma State just kept turning the ball over, and just Baylor was just doing what they needed to do. They weren't
Yeah,
really
but
scoring a
then
lot, but
Baylor's They almost shot themselves in the foot because they had some turnovers in that third quarter. That's how Oklahoma State got back into the game to begin with, and then the and it was teeter tatter. It was pretty much neck and neck that third quarter, and then it seemed like Oklahoma State just said, "All right, we just about to give y'all back the momentum again." And those another two interceptions from Sanders.
That Baylor quarterback, he started off something like hit his first
I didn't even
17
know he
passes in a
was
row.
starting. What happened to Gary Bohannon? I don't even know. I didn't know even Bohannon was hurt.
I think he got hurt or something. But this one kid, he started off like hitting his first 17 passes in a row. Like he started off on some really crazy streak. And looking at they just stopped throwing the ball, it looks like. But that game was just one of those, it felt weird watching. It felt like Baylor was way ahead. But
It was
you
going
could
back
obviously
and forth.
tell Oklahoma State was the more talented team.
Yeah, but they
got that
just
weird
kept shooting
feeling.
themselves in the foot.
And then you get the Cincinnati Houston game where Cincinnati showed up. They had to show up. They showed up, out physically play Houston. But watching Houston showed a lot of promise. And Houston's going to the Big 12.
That's a good jump.
If you go and perform and you do well
they
in the Big
12, Auburn in the bowl game too.
They're gonna You go beat Auburn, you go to Big 12, you're successful in the Big 12. Especially
good look for them.
Yeah, I think in the next couple of years, you got Texas and Oklahoma going to the SEC. Your two big powerhouses are gone.
Yep.
So you're talking Houston, Baylor, Oklahoma State, Iowa State. That's really
that's winnable. That's winnable.
Very winnable
for Houston.
And you win the Big 12, especially in convincing manner, you're playoff contender.
Yeah. And you're just gonna get. I mean, and honestly,
you're not in the situation where Cincinnati's in right now, where you go undefeated and you're like, oh, that we could keep them out of the playoffs and have a good argument. I think going back to back undefeated, Cincinnati's earned that spot, and I'll get to that in a second. But you win the Big 12, especially no losses, one loss. You're very much in it. But oh man. Wild week. Bama versus Georgia. I watched the first half and then I had to go to work.
Well, I gotta say,
in the first half, it was like, all right, Bama's kind of keeping it close, but you had the feeling that Georgia was going to run away with it. Come back, I checked the end of the score. We finally slowed down at work. I get to check the score. I'm like, what the? This wasn't supposed to happen.
Yeah, at all.
But as much as I really didn't think Bama was going to win, I also wasn't surprised.
As much as everybody, did I ever say that Georgia? I don't think I'm on record ever saying Georgia was going to win.
You never said Georgia was going to lose. You never said Georgia was going to win. You were kind of in that.
Because like because I could have sworn like I'm so scared of Nick Saban, bro. Like, there's no way I just bet against that man. There's no way. And Bryce Young had they barely got past that.
Oh my God, dude, he's a sophomore.
I just feel like Bryce. I feel like he's playing at a level that is he is so mature, and I just trust him so much as a quarterback. I trust him,
dude,
and it just
he's
showed
gonna be a
against
good player.
Dominant
in the NFL.
Georgia defense. Oh, I think so. I was talking to my dad. How Nick Saban keeps getting.
My dad doesn't really watch too much outside of Tennessee, bro. But dude, I was the way I described him is he's like Deshaun Watson with a better arm, and Deshaun Watson got a hell of an arm.
You compare to Deshaun, I don't think he even runs enough, or even
he doesn't want to run.
He makes defenses even take that into account. You think he's a better runner?
He's a better runner than Watson. Did you watch the Georgia game?
Not all of it. I watched the very first. I watched the
when he needs to
the second quarter, and then I stopped.
When he needs to, he's so mobile.
I know he's mobile, but I mean, like better than Deshaun Watson. Like,
Yes,
mm,
especially post ACL tear Deshaun Watson.
I mean, I don't know.
He's
I
faster.
mean,
He's more elusive. I think
you
Deshaun
think
Watson got.
are you sure he's faster? Like Deshaun Watson runs like
Oh,
a 4 or
dude.
5, if I'm not mistaken. So you
I
tell me
I don't know if he I don't know if
Bryce
he's
Young runs
40
a 4
faster.
4?
I don't know if he's 40 faster, but he plays faster. He in game faster. Granted, okay, let me say this also. I don't know the last time I saw
How can you
Deshaun
say
Watson
something like
run.
yeah, I think it
So
just might be
this
a
might be
while since we've
this
seen
could also
Deshaun
be
Watson
very
play.
this could be recency bias because okay, the last time I
Yeah.
saw Deshaun Watson play, but watching it, he plays
I mean,
faster.
he only threw for 34 touchdowns and threw for 4,000 yards and had another 600 yards rushing.
Dude, Deshaun Watson, I think people are forgetting how good he is. He gonna get this civil stuff figured out. He gonna be back, and it's gonna be like, oh, yeah, we forgot how good this dude is. But I think people moved past this year forgetting how good he was. But
I mean, whether you don't have nothing to show him, then yeah, it's easy to forget. But
yeah,
all it'll be for him to come back and show everybody.
Houston might get lucky though. Houston might get lucky. All this civil
How
stuff,
so?
all the civil stuff might ruin his stock. The way they might get him for another year. Houston needs to go draft good, free agency build up, and they might have a chance of getting Deshaun Watson to recommit to this team. I like this.
Bro. That the reason why I say no way, because the issue is with the organization. It's not just
I
the
know, but they
team,
got to.
it's
I
the
think if the team shows,
organization as a whole.
if the
Nah, bro,
organization
it's from
shows
the
the
owners.
commitment, they have a
It's not even
shot.
about
They
that.
have a
They
shot.
already disrespected him. The disrespect has already been done.
Yeah, but Deshaun Watson's a disgrace right now with everything going on. His
in
image
people's
is
eyes that he
destroyed.
don't care about. In people's eyes that I guarantee you he do not care about. I guarantee you he don't care about no opinion that's out there about him. That's just that's my
Oh,
personal
and the
opinion.
reason that
That's
the
my
only
gut
reason he's
feeling.
not back is because I'm
Because
not going
he's
to touch this
eligible to
too much.
play. He's eligible.
No,
He
he's
could have
not.
been
He's still
playing.
suspended. He's still under investigation
I
because
thought I thought
he's no, because he still has a suits
oh no,
going
he can
on.
come to the he can come to the workout for the because I
Yeah,
know he's allowed on the team on the facility.
he's not allowed to play until his legal issues are done. But the reason they're still going on is because he won't pay him. I'm not going to go whether he's guilty or not. I'm not going to go into that. But you would think a guilty man would pay it and make it go away. But he's sitting there, he's standing his ground, he's not paying these women.
Exactly.
But I'm not
Exactly.
going to physically actually verbally say
Because
that he's
bro,
innocent.
look,
But
this is just me. I don't care who say what.
it's not
I
guilty actions,
honestly,
man. He's not acting guilty.
but the way how it all came about, like everybody's just so quick to jump on stuff like, oh my gosh, you mean that? Yeah, he's a monster. Like, y'all don't think this is all a coincidence? Like, this is just me personally. Like, this is me gut feeling, just knowing how like the world works and how people will snake you. Like, oh, you don't want to come back for us? Okay, cool. We'll just destroy your image. You think we won't? Try it.
I don't know if this comes back to. I don't think the Texans have anything to do with it, but because it's happening
I wouldn't
all over the.
deny any of it. I wouldn't be surprised if like that's just I don't know, man. That's just me.
Because it's happening to so many people everywhere. Now, could
Cause
they?
they tried to build
Yes.
they trying to build Cosby that man. I'm telling you, like they just have all these girls coming out the woodwork, and I'm just like, bro, this is $100 million good looking brother, man. Like y'all tell me, y'all look. I'm not even trying to try to make that seem like because there's real guys that probably really do prey on women like the Harvey Weinsteins and all that stuff. Look, I look. I'm not trying to water it down and make it seem like I'm not compassionate towards people who go through
But that's
those
the thing.
situations.
That's the thing. All these girls who are lying. That's what's watering it down.
But that's the thing, and that's when it's just like, how do y'all want us to take it serious when there's so many people crying wolf all the time, but
It really
then y'all want
it
us to take the
diminishes real
situation
victims.
serious? Yeah, you know what I'm
These
saying?
poor
Like, yeah,
women who actually are raped and treated and abused. You're diminishing them. You're hurting
yeah,
them.
you and disrespecting them. Yeah, because like there are real cases that need to be solved out here, but then y'all
Because
want to
the next time a celebrity,
chomp
next
up
time
charges on this dude.
especially with a big celebrity figure, if there is a figure out there that Bill Cosby, if all this was coming out now on him after all this Me Too stuff that's happened over the past few years, Bill Cosby's gonna be looking like a lot more innocent man than when it did come out in that real time it did. Because I was really,
Yep.
oh, really? I'm like, this many girls. I fully believe Cosby's guilty. I really do.
He probably did a few of them. To be honest, knowing him the way he kind of, I don't know, man. Drugging girls though, like I just when you're one of the most famous men, like, do you really need to do all that to get people around you though?
He do
Like to
seem like
do
he has
things
something
for
off though.
you?
He seemed like he has something off. He do. Oh, I just got that, but
he looking at the girls like,
all right, let's kind
you
of
want this?
focus back on. But let's get.
But I think that I think Michigan can beat Georgia. I think they got exposed. I think they can get. I think that defense ain't as strong as people think because they got thrown on. They didn't
I
get
think
ran on. They got thrown on.
I
Bryce Young
think
threw for 400.
Cincinnati's the worst team in the playoffs. But I think
And
Cincinnati. They're not. I'm not saying they're
they're not a
bad.
slouch. They they just play. They're the least proven. That's the. I don't think they're like least talented or anything.
And I don't think they're
Well,
as
they
deep as
probably
the
are
other
least.
three. I don't think they're as
Yeah, they're
deep. I think
definitely
their
not as
starters are
deep. They're
just as
definitely not
capable
as
as
deep.
everyone. Their starters are
Yeah,
just as capable. But I think
they don't
Cincinnati has
have
a
the
better.
depth. That's for
I think
sure.
Cincinnati has a better chance of beating Bama than Michigan does of Georgia. I think Georgia's defense just matches Michigan's offense. Trust me, I would love it so much if it was a
Yeah,
Michigan Cincinnati
Georgia
championship.
wants the smash mouth game because I mean now if Michigan comes out and say, all right, well we just gonna smash you harder, and if they do win that battle in the smash mouth, then we got a whole different
Michigan's
conversation.
got to come out like they did against Ohio State with something to prove.
I think they will. The fact that they there, I
I don't
think they
know,
tired of
dude.
getting.
I don't know.
I think the game will be good. I honestly think it'll be a good game. I don't
I
think
wanted
Michigan's
to.
gonna
I
get
wanted to. I want Michigan to win. I want Cincinnati to win. I want that
because I don't
matchup
think
so bad.
Georgia's offense is that great. What now? I don't think what Georgia's done to
Dude,
make them their case this
Michigan's
year hasn't been on
defense.
offense. I think now that's
You
going to
want to
be
talk
the best
about?
because
You talk about Georgia's defense. Michigan's defense, I think, might be the best in the country.
that's what I'm saying. And I think Georgia's offense matched with Michigan's defense. I don't think that bodes well for Georgia's
I think it's a
offense.
very. I
None.
think it's gonna be a very similar game to that Week
It's going to be
1
low
Georgia
scoring.
Clemson game.
I think it's going to be a low. I think it's going to be a low scoring
I think it's gonna be like
defensive
that Georgia
battle.
Clemson game where it was like 10-3 or 10-6 or 6-3, something like that. But I think Michigan could go either way. But
I'm pulling for
that,
Michigan.
me too, dude.
I'm pulling for Harbaugh to finally
He
get
needs
the
it.
monkey off his back.
I don't think he
Get the
needs
monkey
it.
off your back,
I think
man.
beating Ohio State really helped his case, but
Oh,
I
definitely. He
want it.
definitely sitting easy
I
off of that
want it
one.
for him, dude. So bad.
Definitely the best year since he's been in Michigan by
But
far. I mean, it's not even
that
close.
defensive end, Aiden Hutchinson for Michigan,
Oh yeah, Hutchinson. Yeah, that
everyone's
boy. He
compared
got
him
a
to that.
He reminds me of Max Crosby from the Raiders. That's who he reminds me of.
Yeah.
You must not watch a lot of Raiders games. Who you about to say that he reminds everybody of? Because he reminds me of Max Crosby.
I was gonna say
That
Joey
just the
Bosa,
energy, the motor,
the
Joey
Bosa brothers.
Bosa. Just he reminds me of just Max Crosby plays with this He to
No, I
me,
take it.
Max Crosby is the counterpart to George.
No, Hutchinson is a Watt. Hutchinson's a Watt because Crosby and the Bosa brothers, they're gonna out athlete you. JJ Watt and this Aiden Hutchinson kid, they probably better athlete than you, but they also just gonna pick you up and push you out of the way too. They're bigger body. They're gonna move you. Not
Which
saying
is a big
Crosby and the
dude,
Bosa brothers
and he got
can't,
them
but they're
long
not.
arms. He got them long arms.
Watt and Hutchinson, they're both people who could probably play a 3 tech and inside defensive lineman, but just excel outside because they're that big of an athlete too. So I think Hutchinson can be the first Hutchinson, really, but he is. Everyone's comparing him to that Anderson on Bama. Like, oh yeah, Anderson had better stats, da 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 da. But then you go and you look at the stats from the big games. Hutchinson had 3 against Ohio State, 1 against Iowa, 2 against Michigan State. He shows up in the big games. Anderson went and got most of the sacks on these FBS schools or whatever, FC, whatever the smaller one is. He padded his stats against the worst team. And Anderson's a good player, don't get me wrong, but if I'm going to make my prediction for the Michigan-Georgia game,
I think Georgia's offense struggles more than Michigan's offense struggles. That's just me. I just didn't see anything from that Georgia offense in that Alabama game that made me believe, like, dang, this is the
13-7,
number one team that was ranked.
13-7 Georgia is my prediction. Not who I'm pulling for, my prediction. And I think
Georgia hasn't had a quarterback since Murray, bro. It's since Aaron Murray. They have not had a quarterback since Murray. Like, that
but
was their
I
last
think
premier
Georgia's going to
quarterback
come
they
out.
had.
Georgia has something more to prove than Michigan does now. So I think Georgia
I
comes out
don't
and
think
fights
that's
harder.
true. I think Michigan got way more to prove. Like, Michigan wants to get back to Michigan football. Michigan
Oh,
football. Georgia has
Michigan,
been trying to be the big boy, trying to get over, they trying to be the new kid on the block and dethrone Alabama. Like, all
wait,
right, it's a new, but Michigan trying to get back to they trying to get back to tradition.
Michigan did what they wanted to do this year. I think they've reached their goals. They beat Ohio State. They won the
You
Big
think they
Ten.
whole that was that's what they base their whole season off of? Just beating Ohio State?
Everyone says they want to win the championship, but especially Harbaugh's mind, it was beat Ohio State. Georgia, all this year they've been oh, you're number one, you the big dog, you number one, and they just went and got manhandled by Bama. They got something to prove now. They definitely do. They got to go back and show that that they're not really some bitch. They got to go there and show, oh yeah, we really are this. Because Georgia's now earned this reputation where they're going to go win the SEC East and become Bama's bitch. So
Yeah, you'll win the East, but then they'll just get beat by Bama.
so 13-7.
I mean, unless they can
Georgia.
put together an offense, like I think that's one thing that, like, after I'd say 2008, 2009, I think John Parker Wilson was the quarterback for Alabama, if I'm not mistaken. And they had Glenn Coffee is a running back. I think that's like right before Julio Jones was like breaking out to become a star. And they were a run heavy offense that, like, bro, throwing the ball was like way back in the mind. It seemed like a Nick Saban. And just to see how the offense has completely turned since, like, then, like, just goes to like, to me, and like I've always like damn, like, and I've thought about this numerous times, like, damn, I remember watching Alabama game, like it was 09. I remember when the highest Clemson had been ranked, and it was before Dabo Swinney had become coach, when Tommy, whatever his last name was still the coach, and they were ranked number 9. They were playing against Alabama. They were ranked number 22. And all of the Clemson speed, and Alabama came and just freaking mowed them over. And I'm just like, dang. And then like they were just a run heavy offense. And like I said, it's just crazy to see out like Nick Saban has like he gets all the credit in the world because he is not one of those guys just like like we hear about Pete Carroll and this whole Russell Wilson thing about how Pete Carroll's philosophy has been run the ball, take in,
He
and
adapts.
all
Nick
this.
Saban
And
adapts.
Nick Saban shows like, bro, you win by adapting to your surroundings. The players that come through, these players are different than they were that they came through 10 years ago, 20 years ago. These athletes are different now. They can do more. They can, what I'm saying? Like you got 6'8" guys that can run 4.4s
I
and
don't.
Ron Micah Parsons.
I don't care. NFL, high school, college. Nick Saban is the coach you want to emulate. I
Yeah,
know. I know
regardless.
Bill Belichick's out there, but there's only gonna be one Bill Belichick. There's gonna be one Nick Saban, but you can emulate Nick Saban more than Belichick. Belichick's the only guy out there that can be a hard ass and be what he is and get away with it.
Yeah.
You see what happened to
Nick
Matt Patricia when he
Saban,
went and tried that.
yeah, nah, shit did not work. A lot of those Bill Belichick guys that tried off the tree, name one actually that's really panned out. Name a guy off the Bill Belichick tree that's really paid.
O'Brien did the best.
McDoug, Bill O'Brien, and look what he
He had his
did. If
he had
that's what
his
you call the
years.
best.
Yeah. But
Oh yeah, he left to the playoffs a
Bill
few
O'Brien tried to
times.
be that
Yeah,
hard
but
ass
he
GM
tried to
coach
take
combo.
he tried to yeah he tried to do too much. He wanted to have
He
all the
tried to be
power like
Bill. He
Belichick.
tried to be Bill.
Yep. Like
So
damn, y'all really be. I don't know if Bill Belichick giving y'all these talks saying, "Hey, you gotta act like this," or if y'all just like sitting on the sideline thinking, "Well, shit, well, damn, maybe I should just do this whenever I go get my team." But damn, it don't work like that with everybody.
Nick Saban, he's he's a hard ass, but he's also you can see clips of him having
I feel like
fun.
he's a player's coach. I feel like
He is.
he's a guy that gets like, all right, it's time to work now, so let's work. But at the same time, but
He
let's
connects
have
with.
fun
I feel
doing
like he
it.
connects with
But
every player.
he
You do not
does.
see people.
I feel like
You
he
do not
does
see players
too.
at Alabama transferring out.
You don't see like, bro, we live in a day and age where players will just straight up call your coach out on social media, when they playing for him. You know what I'm saying? So
No,
like
I mean,
the fact that there's nothing nobody can say about like people, it happened with Urban Meyer, it happened like with Tommy Tressel, like it with Jim Tressel. I mean, like it's happened with multiple coaches at high profile programs. So like the fact that Nick Saban hasn't had one bad thing said about him. Everybody loves playing for him, and obviously he always gets the top classes in the country. So everybody wants to play for him.
it's just no one transfers from Bama. I mean,
Nope.
I can only name one transfer from Bama who actually panned out.
And if
That's
they
Alvin
do
Kamara.
transfer,
But
I feel
he didn't
like
transfer because he wanted to. He transferred because he got into some trouble and had to go somewhere else. So,
like I said,
and
and even then, I feel like the only reason why somebody would want to transfer is if one probably just playing time, like if they just really just like
but
want to
you don't
go,
even see
if they
that
really want to
now.
play. Yeah, because yeah, I guess you don't see that from Alabama.
I mean,
Because like Mac
nowadays,
Jones,
say,
he stayed for and he finally got his one shot.
dude, Bama, you're not looking to start as a freshman. You're looking to go in there your junior, senior year and ball out, get drafted first, second round, and then let the cycle continue.
Yeah, Tua got lucky.
Tua got lucky that Jalen Hurts sucked ass. But oh. So Bama, Cincinnati. Let's.
Do you Desmond Ritter is gonna have to be elite now. Like he's going to have to be elite now. Like it can't be him like a lot
I
of
think
games
Cincinnati
like
can win the
he's
game.
I think so too, but like I said, he's gonna have to go off. Like because Bryce Young is gonna go off. He's Bryce Young is making the case for being the best quarterback in the country.
Oh no, he is the best quarterback in the country.
I still think Kenny Pickett is. I like what Kenny Pickett has done all season. Yeah, he's not playing against SEC guys. I get it. I
You
get
see what
it.
Bryce
But
Young's been doing all season?
I know, but I just feel like Bryce Young has a lot more. There's a lot more to account for on Alabama that Bryce Young can kind of operate. Like, dude, when does Bryce Young really get touched? He doesn't get touched hardly. He has hours a lot of times to get freaking the ball off. I mean, minus the past few weeks, like against the. I mean, yeah, he got pressured a lot against the Auburn game. It's a rivalry weekend, of course. That game gonna be hell. But other than that, all season,
I think Bryce Young
I
has a
mean, like
chance.
minus the A&M game,
I think if Bryce Young goes out and does what he did this year, maybe even a
he's
little
gonna
better
win the
next year.
Heisman.
Oh, he's one of the Heisman. But I think if he goes out because he's only a sophomore, he go out here and he do better, if not even just the same. You
I
talking? He
just think
might go
his
down as one of
physical
the best
traits
of
are.
all time in
Oh,
college.
mm. Yeah. I mean,
He
yeah. I guess
he's got a
so,
whole nother
like,
year to go out there and do what he did. You look at Joe Burrow. He
what
did it
kind of
for one
numbers would
year, and
he
he's
have to
already
finish
considered one of the
with?
best
Because, like,
college of all time.
are you just talking about statistic seasons? Like, are you just talking about like a statistical season, like statistically, like in college, like passing yards and stuff, or are you just talking about like? Because I just feel like he doesn't have like the physical traits for like a team to really think like,
Oh,
oh
I'm not
man, this
talking
guy's gonna.
like
I think
I'm not
that's what's gonna
talking.
stop like his draft stock. But like if you're just talking about like if he had the chance to go down as like one of the top college quarterbacks off of
I
like his
mean,
statistics,
you look at Tim Tebow is one of the best college quarterbacks of all time. College. I'm not talking
yeah, I
quarterbacks.
know,
I'm talking
I
what they
know.
did.
I
Johnny
just
Manziel. But I just Bryce Young will pan out in the NFL. He will.
you think
I know. I know.
where could he
Unless this
go?
dude unless this
The
dude goes out
Giants?
unless this dude goes out and dies, like actually
What?
dies.
What's his class? Was he a sophomore?
He's a sophomore. He has one more year. But my prediction for this Bama Cincinnati game 35-31
Oh, you think it's
Cincinnati.
gonna be that tight?
The difference is I think Bama is the deeper, better team. But Bama's coming off this big win, and I think Cincinnati knows they got to win. Yeah, all four teams need to win. Cincinnati, they're not winning for them anymore. Now they're winning for every other team that hasn't, who needs a shot in the future. Because if Cincinnati goes in there and gets blown out, or I think
It's
even
gonna make the
Cincinnati just
committee. The committees is gonna be like, yeah, in the future, gonna be like, yeah, remember what happened with Cincinnati? Nah, let's
if
hold off
Cincinnati
on these
even
dark
just
teams.
loses,
Yeah.
it could be a three
Well,
point
no,
loss. All
if they lose and keep it close, nah, I think it'll be different because like it's like, all right, this team came in here up against the big dog of the big dogs, and they came in and hung in there and was only
I
a
think if
play
they keep
away
it
from winning.
close, I think if they keep it close, Cincinnati will maybe get some more shots, but I don't think it opens up the door for everyone else. I think if Cincinnati goes in there wins, then you look at like the Coastal Carolinas and BYU and
Oh
UCF,
no,
and you're like,
but even like you say, Coastal Carolina, their conference is even weaker than Cincinnati's.
but you look at them and you think if Cincinnati just did this, like maybe we give these guys a shot if they go out and they ball out.
Well, the
So
thing would be is that their conference itself would have to get strong, which like teams like Houston,
but
well,
it
they're going
also
to the Big
hurts because
12, but
Cincinnati's leaving their
yeah, they're
conference.
leaving. Aren't they going to the Big Ten?
They're going to the Big Ten.
Which is going to be good for them. Great for
Uh,
them.
yeah. So
They'll
Cincinnati
be
has
great
the
for them.
opportunity. Cincinnati has the opportunity. They've already got into the loft. They made the playoffs. Now
Yeah,
they have
they just laying. Yeah, they laying the groundwork
they had the
for the
opportunity to kind of
future.
drop the ladder behind them and let all these other smaller programs kind of climb up and have their chances. Houston's leaving too, but these Conference USA teams and all that, it's just they're gonna have their shots now. I think if Cincinnati goes out there and does what they need to do. So my predictions 13-10, 13-7 actually, Georgia, and then 35-31 Cincinnati, which replicates the bowl game from last year, Georgia versus Cincinnati, where Georgia hit a last second touchdown to beat Cincinnati. So that could be a close one too. I can see
Yeah.
any one of these teams beating the other team. I don't think there's one team that's really the runaway favorite.
Yeah.
I do
Yeah.
think
Not runaway.
I think the more fair option would have been Georgia, Bama 1-4, and Cincinnati, Michigan 2-3. I don't think Georgia should have been given the nod over Cincinnati. I know no one wants to see that rematch the week, like literally the next game,
Yeah.
but I think you need to get over yourself with the we don't want to watch it happen. It just happened. That's just some bullshit to get two SEC teams in the championship.
Yeah.
Play them. It's the right order. Cincinnati's undefeated. If you really want to argue it, Cincinnati should be number one. They're the only undefeated team. If you're doing it right, they're the only undefeated team. I know the strength of schedule
They're the
comes into
only
play,
one.
but
There are teams who lost to lesser opponents, so that are probably like I would say Oregon losing to Stanford. Like if I think Houston is a better team than Stanford. So like
yeah.
if you know what I'm saying, like Cincinnati beats a team like Houston that was ranked, and so like I feel like they're not I don't know if the committee be looking as much into like like these teams aren't that bad. Yeah, this conference probably not the Pac-12, but these Pac-12 teams are super trash at the bottom.
It's I really almost want to say I need it. I need them to go out there and ball out. As a fan of the game, I need Cincinnati not to go out there and just suck it up
Right. Yeah,
because
I get you.
the playoff committee is itching for Cincinnati to go out there and get their ass whooped and be like, oh, no, SEC and Big Ten teams forever. Oh, we'll throw Notre Dame here every once in a while, a little Oklahoma.
Yeah.
We'll let these Pac-12 teams be in there for a little bit, but come playoff time, we'll kick them out. They're all bound to choke one game. They'll be the reason to throw them out. But oh my god, dude, I need it. This one win, not even these smaller schools. This one win will open it up for everybody.
For every
Especially if
really,
they
if
don't open.
Oklahoma State would have won, it would have shook up a lot of shit.
If Oklahoma State would have won,
Oklahoma
I'll
State
be
had
scared they would have
won.
kicked Cincinnati out.
I feel like they would have. I dang near want to say I feel like I'm on the 80% to 90% sure that they would have fucking just
Because they were itching
the
for that
committee would
reason
have
not
been
to put them
like,
in the entire
yeah,
season.
they were looking for a reason. They wanted a reason. And they would
I'm not
probably
saying
hoping Oklahoma
Cincinnati's.
State
I'm
would
not
win.
saying Cincinnati doesn't deserve to be in the playoffs, but they got in there because of default. Every other team lost
Yeah.
too many games, and they just
Yeah.
got the playoff committee had to put them in.
Yeah.
So,
because I mean, like when all these other teams are playing multiple teams that are at the caliber of the one team ranked team that you beat, like it just doesn't seem right to skip past those when they have to, when you only had to play one top 10 team in, whether it was Baylor, Oklahoma State, or Oklahoma, they all have to play each other. So that's twice that, that's two, Notre
I think
Dame
the only
caliber
reason
teams that you have to play versus their
that playoff
one.
committee didn't put Notre Dame in above them is because Cincinnati had the win over Notre Dame.
Yeah.
And I think, oh, dude, imagine if Notre Dame would have been put in over Cincinnati. Imagine.
That would have been disrespect. Slap in the face.
Because not only did they beat Notre Dame, it was a pretty sound win, too.
And it was in North Bend. So
Yeah,
it's like, dang, they came into your house too.
So there's a couple of bowl games I also want to talk about, too. My big one is Tennessee Purdue. That's gonna be an offensive shootout.
You
And
think
dude,
Tennessee's got enough to stick with that Purdue offense?
I don't know if Purdue got enough to stick with Tennessee. I don't know if you've been
Is
watching
Tennessee that
Tennessee this year.
explosive? I haven't. I haven't watched any Tennessee this year.
Tennessee, let's see. For like the first half of the season, they were averaging like 40 points by halftime.
Damn. So what's their record?
Uh, it wasn't great. I think they went 7-5.
So what? They defense must be trash.
Well, yeah, I think so. Tennessee was averaging like 2.5 minutes per drive. Their defense is averaging over 100 snaps on the field. So they
Oh,
really just
that's
couldn't
true.
keep
If you're
up.
scoring that, if you're scoring that quick, and yeah, you're just leaving your defense on the field for a hell of a long time.
Let's see. Going back to week 1, 45 points, 38 points. They lost to Pitt 41-34. So Kyle Pickett and them, they lost 41-34 to them. 56. Florida was an exception. They only scored 14 against Florida. But 62 Missouri, 45 South Carolina, 26 against Mississippi, 24 against Bama. You can see where their defense is starting to get worn out through the season. Go and drop 45 on Kentucky, 17 against Georgia, but Georgia, 60, 45, and now they're playing Purdue. So their offense is really explosive this year. I mean, and let's see.
Man, I just hate that there are two freaking SEC teams in the playoffs. I really do. That's why I wanted Alabama to lose. But I didn't feel like it was going to happen. Because I just felt, I didn't think that Alabama's defense was that much worse than Georgia's defense. And Georgia's offense is nowhere near as good as Alabama's offense.
I want to see if I can find the average time of possession. Because it was crazy. They had like the most like explosive, fast-paced offense, which ended up hurting their defense because their defense would get no breaks. Okay, here, this will not be. Ads. But do you have any bowl games you want to talk about?
I gotta talk about my boys because I think that the Oregon Oklahoma game is gonna be pretty crazy. It's gonna be a lot of. I mean, it's just two start glitz and glamour teams. I would say two high profile teams. Man, my boy, I ain't gonna say my boy, but man, Anthony Brown. I don't know, man, because I really thought that he could be a transcendent guy at the beginning of the year, but as the year went on, I just felt like there wasn't no arm talent there. And I think that's what's kept us from being a real potent offense is the lack of aerial attack. And then CJ Verdell went down early, and Travis Dye is good. I love Travis Dye. But when you look he's carried our load, but he's not that explosive. He's not an explosive guy, whatsoever. He looks actually very slow when I look at him play. He looks very slow. And I don't know. This just doesn't look too. I just feel like Oklahoma's. I mean, our defense. I mean, for us to have
But also,
Thibodeau,
think
I haven't seen much.
Oklahoma's out that head coach.
Well, is he not going to coach their last game?
No, he's already in California. He's gone.
Yeah, he did. I thought
All
he
these
was
coaches that already found new
season.
jobs. All these other coaches that found new jobs. They're
because they got to get ready for the recruiting and all that stuff.
You
They
got
got to
early
get
signing
ready
period.
for next year. Yeah, you got to get
Notre
ready.
Dame, no head coach. Well, they got that Marcus Freeman, their D coordinator. So they're all kind of operating on their. And you also got to think like LSU, we got Brian Kelly. I don't think he's going
But
to
I
coach
think
us in the bowl
I think
game.
Mario Cristobal just got hired on in Miami, if I'm not mistaken.
He did. Oregon's without their
So
head coach
yeah,
too.
I'm about to throw my charger, man. Damn. Yeah, because I just read that earlier. I was like, yeah, Mario Cristobal just went on to Miami. And it didn't even hit me because I was like getting prepared to get on here and it didn't even register. And I'm just like, but yeah, bro. Yeah. So I think Oregon's about to go down a rabbit hole because Mario Cristobal saved us from the chip. Like we were going downhill after the Chip Kelly era. And then Mario Cristobal saved us and made us relevant again. And now we're about to go right back down the rabbit hole.
Hey, get Ed Orgeron.
At least I'll be paired with you going in despair in college football. I don't think
Yeah,
Brian Kelly's going to come and save LSU either.
not right away. Not right away. I think eventually he'll right the ship, but I'll get
I
to that
think
in a
all the
second.
recruits I think all his recruiting trees are in up north. I don't think he
That's
has
what I
any
said right
ties down
away.
south. He has no ties down south.
But not right away. Especially watching all these players into the transfer portal.
Yeah,
At this
that's not
point, I'm
a
not
good
even
sign
getting
at
on social
all.
media.
It's like who you gonna be working with next year? Everybody gonna be gone.
This is the first time LSU doesn't have a top 10 recruiting class because I think Orgeron and all of them just shut down and stopped recruiting.
Yeah, they was like, fuck it, we'll just leave it for the next guy. Leave it for making his problem.
All these other coaches that were recruiting these players are now leaving, so the recruits, a lot of these recruits are going with them. It's gonna be a rough couple years, but
Couple, it might be longer.
I was about to
Kelly might
say
not be able to might not be
these
able to
next
take it.
couple years is what's going to decide whether we're going to come back and we're going to start challenging again. It's going to be the difference. Are we going to be Florida or are we going to be Tennessee? Are we going to kind of right the ship like Florida did after Urban Meyer when Dan Mullen came? They had a rough couple years and Dan Mullen right the ship. Or are we going to be
He
Tennessee and
had a
just,
few successful ones at the end.
or are we just going to be Tennessee and kind of go through this 10-year route? Because you got to remember, Tennessee was a really good program. Just
Yeah.
2007, 2008.
Yep.
Just go down the wrong path and it's going to be one or the other. We're going to be real bottom of the SEC or we're going to be right back in contendership in 5 years. So I think Chip Kelly's good enough to get it done. I really do. You look at what he did at Notre Dame, and he only had 1 5-star in the past 5 years. So now you're down here in the South with 5 stars in every state. So he's got to get some roots down. He's got to get going. I'm not going to hold this next year against him. 2 years from now, I'll start getting more strict. But man, I know if you're transferring out of LSU, fuck you. I don't want you. Great talent, but if you ain't committed, get out of here. I'm done. Like, if you were committed, yeah, I want you. But we just lost our defensive back coach, the one that's been running DBU since Patrick Peterson times. Corey Raymond. Now he's at Florida now. So we'll see. Our number one corner, he's looks like he's transferred to Bama.
Stingley? Derek Stingley?
No, Stingley's going to draft.
Oh, wait, he was only a sophomore, right? I thought he was only because he was a
No,
freshman.
he's a junior. He was a
I
freshman
thought
that
he was a
national
freshman
championship year.
The national championship year. Oh,
This
then the
is-
year after. All right, because I forgot that coronavirus year because
He can be a top
Jamar
5
Chase sat
pick.
out that year. That's right. So that was his sophomore year. Okay,
I
yeah,
think
that makes sense.
everything was looking like Philly might be the one that gets him though. So
I hope, bro, if we compare him with Big Play Slay, ooh, nasty.
Slay would get a lot more because no offense, Stingley's gonna be the more locked down corner of the two. he's gonna shut down somebody. I'm not saying Slay can't. Slay's gonna be more the opportunist. Slay has that ability to, like, if he's burned a little bit, he's gonna catch up and make that interception.
Yeah, and he likes to take gambles and risks, like jump stuff and like in zones and shit like
Stingley's
that.
like Ramsey.
Yeah,
He gonna sit in
he
that
has
back
like three
pocket and no
touchdowns.
one gonna throw. You ain't gonna throw when that cornerback's right there in that back pocket. So I don't
Hey,
know.
I'd be happy to get him if he pans
But
out. That's
granted,
if
Stingley was projected to go to Philly back when Philly wasn't winning games. So you're like, I think
yeah,
you're at
true.
500 now. So I don't know how far you
No,
guys
we're
are
at
going to
six and
be.
seven. We're 6 and 7 because we lost to the fucking Giants the week before. We
Yeah,
should be
just
7 and 6. We should not have lost to that damn game. But fucking Jalen Hurts three interceptions,
mhm.
and then Gardner Minshew comes in and does his thing next week.
So it sucks to be the worst version of Lamar Jackson.
I wouldn't compare him to Lamar Jackson at all.
That's enough brick in my heart with LSU. I'm sure I'll look at Instagram tomorrow and see another one some trading transferring out. The transfer portal is ruining college football. It is ruining it. This ain't no NFL game where you can go free agency and transfer. At least the NFL you have contracts.
Wait, so you're telling me that these kids shouldn't have control of their own future? That's what you're saying?
Not at this rate. Not I'm getting my panties in a twist and I want to go somewhere else.
So they're
It's
supposed to just stay there and be in a situation if it doesn't if it's not beneficial for them?
when
I'm
half a
totally
team's
for that.
not at this
Look,
rate.
I'm
You go back a couple years ago when you got
how do
people
you
who
stop it? How do you just okay, well, there's a threshold. These I mean, like you'd have to like let everybody know. You'd have to make it to where like, all right, we letting y'all know now. If you want to
or
transfer, they're the
go
first
back to
curve,
how
some
make there
comes
be a
first serve
make
thing.
there be a consequence like it used to be. You have to sit out the year. You have to sit out 1 year, how it used to be, and then you have to take it in. I don't want to call it a court, but before like a committee, and get it approved to start right away. You have to go and fight your case to start right away. If not, you have to sit out that 1 year. You can't go immediately be eligible somewhere. They made it too easy. Now you can just halfway through a season be like, no, I don't want to play anymore for this team. They suck. And
I
now
don't think
you
you can do
go.
it halfway through the season.
You can't start that season, but you can start right away. If you were to do that a couple years ago, now you got to set out the whole next season too, unless you go to and before a committee and get eligibility.
Oh, so you can transfer in the middle of the season and start by the next season, right?
Now you can start almost right away. I mean, I think even this year they had someone who transferred after week 1 and was starting on the team by like week 6. Like,
Really?
in fact, I think it
Damn.
actually was. I think in fact it was actually LSU.
Well, then recruiting classes almost mean nothing then.
So it's almost
If there's a
like NFL.
possibility of half of them going to different schools after they don't like it.
And why would you ever stop recruiting a player? Now I'm LSU. I'm whispering in Bama's running back's ears, dude. You ain't starting right now. Come to LSU.
Yeah,
You
for
recruiting every
real.
player all the time.
Damn, you know what? That is true. That creates that
At
situation
least
of
in the
tampering.
NFL, and when you hit free agency, you have to serve a contract. You got to serve your time. It's worse than the NFL because NFL you got free agents, but you got a contract. You go and you serve your 1 year or 2 years or 3 years. You can't be like halfway through your contract and be like, you know what? I'm not starting. I'm just gonna go somewhere else.
I mean, you can, but you can force your hand. I mean, guys just hold out or whatever.
Yeah, but you see that a lot with star players who are just being
Yeah, not just
little.
anybody.
You're not seeing no second or third string on the depth chart. Be like, you know what? I'm not starting on. Okay, what's a good example? You're not seeing Gardner Minshew like, well, I'm not starting over Jalen Hurts. I'm going to go to Detroit and start there. You're not seeing that. Because you know why? Because there's rules. But the NCAA has gotten so fucking soft. I don't think they should have changed that NIL rule where they can get paid for as much as I love the NCAA game coming back next year. It you're turning this college football into a pro sport now.
Yeah. Like why do I need to go to the pros now? I
Like
literally can make my millions here or
exactly.
make my brand here. I can start my brand, make my brand here. By the time I get to I'm already gonna be paid.
So me and Christian, we had this discussion way before we thought of the podcast, and he was like, "Oh yeah, he was for it." My argument was, if you want to give it to them, no more scholarships. No more scholarships. You pay for school, but you go to these bigger schools, you're going to have the better chance for that better endorsement. So if you want to pay these players, because he was making the argument that these players should also get hourly wages. He thinks that they should get paid to. He's like, if you're at practice for 6 hours, you should get paid 6 hours. I'm like, you don't. You're getting paid to go to
Damn, did we
school.
get paid in high school too? Little league? Goddamn.
Yeah, you put in crazy hours in high school, especially here in Texas. You know it.
Hell, this is a game we wanted to play. We signed to play. We signed up to play this. Like, of course, the end game. You want to make it to the league and make money off of it and stuff. But like, you end up playing. You start playing the
And the
game
thing that
because
made
you
college
love the game.
football so more enjoyable to watch than the NFL, these players were playing for the chance to go make money.
Mm-hmm.
They wanted
Mm-hmm.
to win. They wanted to prove themselves. The NFL, they're making money and they don't have to prove themselves. They're making money. Especially the ones that get drafted high. They get drafted and already get their first contract's enough money to last them a lifetime if they play it right. I mean, I'm sure Trevor Lawrence's first contract was a few
Yeah,
million.
like in the 30, in the like 25 no, I don't think the rookie contracts are as much as now. I think Matt
It,
Ryan had the last big rookie contract with like 30 something. But I think now they're like at 18 and shit. Like less than 20 for sure.
Trevor Lawrence contract. $36.8 million, 4 years.
Wait, 36? Oh, so okay, it didn't change because
24.1 million guaranteed.
yeah, never mind.
You're getting
I
set
thought
for
they had
life just by
changed
getting
the
drafted high.
I could
But
have
you know
sworn
what?
they had changed the salary for like they dropped the
Everything's
salary after
actually
Matt
if they
Ryan.
did it
Yeah.
actually if they did it, they changed it to go up because everyone's getting paid more now. But that's the thing. You're playing for this chance to get a $36.8 million contract straight out of
Mm.
college. And now you're getting endorsements by Nike and all that just to play college football.
You gonna
First
be
of
make
all,
you'll be at 30 million before you if you stay in college with that endorsement, you'll be
first
at
of
30
all,
million before you even get to the pros.
with this new rule, Oregon should be running the league here soon with what they are with Nike.
Oh yeah, I know. They literally have the
If Oregon
pipeline.
can utilize this rule, Oregon will be back on top real fast.
Yeah, because
Like,
they can get all their players like, look, we can get you paid. Like you be making money before you know it.
why you want to go to Alabama? What does Alabama got? Yeah, you might win a national championship. Come over here and sign a $2 million contract with
And
Nike.
you, bro, look and keep it real. A lot of the majority are black players that come from low income families, and when you selling that type of, hey, you could come here, and not only can you be a part of a winning program, but you gonna make money and you can while you in school, you can take care
Why
of your
would you?
family.
Oregon's about to be pitching. Why would you go to Alabama and have to fight for a job, play harder competition, when you come here, get a big old Nike contract, play weaker competition, and not as much depth? You're gonna have a chance to start right away. Dude, that's a sold deal.
Yep.
But I miss the days when a free college is worth it. You you know how much college is nowadays?
Yeah, I know. Just a free education should be enough.
I'm paying just for a community college that's only costs like 1/5 of what universities cost. It's costing me $2,400 a semester out of pocket. When I go off, I'm going to take loans. It's going to be $10,000 a semester just to go to like Sam Houston. But that's just tuition. That's not dorms, books, and
Yeah.
like food. So it's when you put that in So let's say 15,000, $30,000 a year, because that's 15 a semester. 30 times four, you're looking at $120,000 for you're just to play a sport, and you get an education out of it.
Yep.
So it's becoming too pro, but it's because these NCAA guys are too like, oh, we don't want to hurt their feelings. Let's let them do what they want. But all right, little rant over with. I mean, we can talk more about this somewhere else because I can go on for days. I want to kind of wrap this up with predicting. We always kind of try to predict this upcoming week of the NFL. Man, I'll tell you, I don't think any of us have been predicting too hot.
No. My phone is this. I don't even know what games are gonna.
I
I guess
got
you
it
can
pulled
go
up.
off. Yeah, you got it.
All right, so starting off with the game tomorrow, Steelers at Vikings. We got the team that lost to the we got the teams that lost to the Rams and the team that tied the Rams. So
how do you pick this game? How do you pick this game, bro?
the two most inconsistent teams in the NFL, I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know what team is going to come out, but I'm gonna just go on a whim. I feel like the one thing that's been consistent is that Steelers defense. Like the defense is they gonna come at you.
I'm gonna go Vikings. I think they just got something to prove after losing to the Lions, dude. You see what the Steelers did after tying the Lions? They come out and beat the Ravens. So
I think the Steelers have more life, and I think they're going to be playing like they still have all that. Hey, we still
I take it
smack
back.
in this.
I'm going the Steelers. Is Adam Thielen's out? Dalvin Cook's probably out. I'm going with the Steelers. Saints at Jets. I'm going Jets.
You need to pick. What? I mean, yeah, I guess.
You want to talk about how Taysom Hill played this past week?
Yeah, I mean, he threw 4 picks.
You wonder why Jameis won that so easily.
Yeah, he threw 4 picks, bro. I mean, granted, he had freaking Parsons in his face, 50% of the time.
Falcons at Panthers.
Yeah, they bench Cam. He playing so bad. But I mean, damn, it was only a second week. I don't know.
I'm going Panthers. It's in Carolina.
I'm gonna go Panthers. I'm gonna go Cam.
Both teams are inconsistent. Panthers just have more talent all around, I think. Ooh, man. They really just decided to put all the shitty games in the 12 o'clock window, didn't they? Seahawks at Texans. Out of default, the Seahawks are going to win somehow.
I'm just going to pick the Seahawks just because
it's going to be like 7-0 is what's going to happen.
Like, I've never been a Texans fan. Like I've lived in Texas for 20. I moved here when I was 12, so 16 years now, and I just hated the fact that my local channel has to play Texans games. Like I fucking hate it. I hate watching. I'm an Eagles fan. I cannot I can't watch my team. And I'm just like, fuck, I don't want to watch these fucking losers.
This past week, they had the Texans playing on 2 channels.
Yeah, on fucking 11 and 13.
They had them playing on the local Fox channel. I'm like, oh, it says right here the Bengals are playing on CBS. I'll go throw on CBS.
On CBS and Fox. I'm like, ain't this a bitch? I'm like, man, there should be another game on Fox. I usually do double head. Like, damn, come on, bro. Like, give me another option, man. I'm about to get Sunday ticket at this bug.
All right, Raiders Chiefs.
I think the Chiefs defense have finally found out what they want to do, but now all of a sudden the Chiefs offense acting like they don't know what the fuck they want to do now. Because now it's to the point to where we got to trust the defense more than the offense, because the offense has been acting hella sus.
I'm gonna go Raiders. Actually, I'm just you have those games. You just get that gut feeling. The Raiders have been inconsistent. Man. I think this is one.
Didn't they lose last week to the Dolphins? No. They played Dolphins earlier this year. They lost last week though. I know they beat the Cowboys Thanksgiving, but I think that loss last week set them back, right? If I'm not mistaken.
They lost to Washington.
Yeah, Washington.
Which is a team that's really getting hot. honestly.
They are getting hot. They are getting hot. That the NFC East is looking a little bit different right now, but
The
I don't
Cowboys,
know.
we'll get to that in a second because they're 2 games down the line. Coin
I'm,
flip
I'm,
really for this
mm,
Raiders Chiefs game.
I'm gonna go with the Chiefs. I'm gonna go with the Chiefs because I gotta trust the Chiefs more.
Ravens Browns. I'm gonna go the Browns, honestly.
The last time the Browns played this team, Mar Jackson threw 4 picks.
This Browns
I
defense
don't
is
know if he can
legit.
do that. The defense is great, but the offense just has been inconsistent. Like unless the both of the run backs are in at the same time, I just feel like they're not as potent with just one, which they could be because like I feel both of them are feature type backs, but I just feel like they
You really
both
have
need to
3 feature
relieve each other
backs.
to stay fresh. Oh yeah, because the whatever the
I
hell
don't even want to try to remember his name. It was some weird name, but
no, it's a regular name just with duh in the front. It's a regular name, like all but all my people do. We take a regular name and we just got to put la, duh, or fuh on the front. La, duh, or some kind of prefix.
well, he didn't even play.
Damn, what's his damn name?
I have to go back a couple weeks and find him.
He's about to
On the
make me
Patriots.
mad. Cause it's right on the tip of my
Dearnest
freaking
Johnson.
Dearness. Yeah, that's right. Dearnest Johnson. Dearnest. You couldn't just name the boy Ernest. Ernest is a common black name, a common black people name. I know so many. I know 3 Ernests: Mr. Ernest Davis, Mr. Ernest Booker, and then Mr. Uh,
God
we
damn.
just my his name was Ernest, but I just called him Uncle Ernie.
Is
I don't
everyone
even
playing in the
remember his last name.
12 o'clock window?
Who?
Everyone's in the 12 o'clock window this week.
Wait,
Granted,
they
the
ain't
tech.
no like.
Granted, the Texans are playing in the 12 o'clock window,
Are
and the
there no?
Cowboys are the
Are
12
there
o'clock window.
no?
So we ain't watching shit. But
There no afternoon games?
you got 3,
Oh,
and you got the one night
it's
game.
usually only like 2 or 3 anyway,
But
and then the one.
I'm gonna go Browns. Could honestly see the Ravens winning too. It's
No, the Ravens got to get it together, bro. They got to get it together. They
they've
lost
been
two
spiraling,
straight.
dude.
They lost 2 straight. They got to get it together. They only 8-4. Like I look at because like, when I looked at the street, I'm like, damn, they got to be like 7-5 by now. But I looked, they was 8-3 at the time of but then 8-4 now after the loss.
It's
I
like
was
the
like,
Bengals and the
damn,
Ravens
they're not that
both don't
bad.
want to win. If the Bengals and Ravens aren't careful, the Steelers are going to steal this division.
I mean, they're right there. They're still there. Like I mean, all it takes for them to slip of the next 3 games, go 8-8, and then it's over.
Cowboys at
Or
Washington. I'm going Washington.
I'm going Washington. I'm going Washington because I feel like the Cowboys are still kind of. Was it a rebound last week? I don't know. I don't know.
Cowboys. It's oh my god, my headphones.
Who did they play last week? They played the.
Saints. They smacked the Saints.
Yeah, yeah. It just like the Saints are
Dak
reeling
did
right
seem like
now.
he
They're
found his groove
not.
though. Dak seemed like he found his groove. He was hitting some big throws, but
Against the Saints defense that's been having to stay on the field far too long because their offense can't move the ball. It just doesn't seem fair. I don't know.
but
We'll see because I think this Washington defense is going to play hella inspired,
this NFC
real
East,
inspired.
this NFC East,
Getting
they're coming
scary. It's
alive.
getting yeah. It's getting. They're
The
getting.
Cowboys,
It's
right now the Cowboys got a firm hold on it, but a little
but they can
slip,
easily lose it. They can
they could
easily
easily
lose
lose it.
it.
That's what I was going with.
And
Right
they all
now,
play each other at the end of the year. They all about to play each other at the end of the year.
the
So it's going to
Cowboys, they're
be
playing. They've been playing good all season, banged up, even sloppy play. They've been winning games, but it's this close.
yeah.
It just takes one or two losses, especially Washington. Washington's getting
Yeah,
hot.
I feel like Washington is the team you got to worry about right now. They won
Philly,
4 straight.
Philly's getting hot, but I have a feeling Philly's just going to come to earth a little bit.
Yeah, I just don't. I don't know. I don't know about us.
Um, Jaguars and Titans.
Titans.
I
I
don't
can't.
know.
I just can't. I can't pick the mess of Jacksonville. Like I was
I think
reading
they beat
that
the Titans earlier in the
Travis
season,
Lawrence. But
and that was with
whatever.
Derrick Henry.
I was reading something earlier about Trevor Lawrence had taken up for James Robinson because he had got benched last week, I guess. And he was talking about how he got to, hey, he was telling the coaches, hey, we got to have him on the field. Y'all can't be benching him like this. Like, he's the best player on our team. What y'all doing? I was like, well, damn, that's your rookie quarterback. Like, I feel like Trevor Lawrence definitely has the
No,
tools.
the Titans
Like,
won,
he's
but
showing he has it, but I just feel like he is in a terrible spot. Like, you got a shit for
well, his
brains
best
coach
DJ
that
Chark,
is
his
with
best
age
receiver,
over his head.
DJ Chark, his most electric receiver went down. They
That's
drafted Trevor
true.
Etienne, and he got hurt in the offseason.
Yeah.
So he's really had no talent around him.
The
But
only consistent guy he has around him is Marvin Jones. And I thought that Chenault was going to make the leap this year, but
I'm gonna go Jaguars. I can see the Titans just
I can't believe
falling.
you. I can't believe you. Come on, man. They ain't going to fall that hard.
I have no belief. I have no faith in the Titans anymore. Not because what they're doing wrong. Just I don't think they're meant to play without Derrick Henry.
They can still
They're
win games like these again without him, though.
they have the talent. They have the talent too. They have the talent to win any game without him.
Is
That's the
Brown
thing.
back? Or is he out for the year?
Brown's out for the season,
Yeah.
but I think everyone expected too much out of him after having two knee surgeries on both knees in the offseason. So
AJ Brown?
yeah, he had double knee surgery in the offseason.
Damn, I didn't know that.
In fact, I think he's
Are
had
those
three
the
knee
same knees
surgeries.
that got him out? Is that why he's out? Is his knees a problem
Yeah,
again?
I don't know. I think it is knees, but he's had three knee surgeries in the past 3 years. In the past year, actually, because remember he had one last year and came back and tried playing at the end of the playoffs and all that.
I didn't know that.
Giants at Chargers. Chargers.
My Chargers are gonna get. Yeah, the Chargers gotta.
I
They
think
we
they
gotta
just. I think
continue
the
to make
Chargers found their
momentum.
groove. You won't
Yeah.
be able to watch your
Well,
game
they
too.
no, I'm
This
not
is
gonna
the
say that
3 o'clock
because
window
they'll
game.
look good one game, and then the next game they will just come out and lay a damn egg.
Maybe they'll do good for you because you'll be able to watch them. It's a 3 o'clock window and no Texas teams are playing.
Okay, cool.
Lions at Broncos.
Broncos. I'm not
What
picking the
Teddy
Lions
shows
just because
up?
they won one fucking game.
What Teddy shows up? No, I'm going Broncos. I think you start Drew Lock and beat the Lions.
Yeah, right.
49ers at Bengals. I'm going to the Bengals.
That the 49ers, man, they can run the ball, bro. They
They
can run the
can,
ball.
but this Bengals defense has showed up to play this year, and as inconsistent as the Bengals have been on offense, even at their worst, they're an above average offense. I think they're going to be able to
They can't.
score 30-something points this game. 49ers will put up some points, but
Well, for one, they should have scored more than 24 points had Jamar Chase not freaking dropped that ball that became an interception. I
yeah,
was like, what the fuck was that? How
preseason
you
Jamar's back.
how did you drop that and made it to where the guy that was burnt behind you got the ball? Like
Preseason
quit.
Jamar Chase is back.
That
The drop
boy said
chase.
he dropped it and said, "Here you go, bro." He tossed it to him.
Yeah, I'm going to pick my Bengals, though.
I kind of want to go San Fran, bro. Where's the game at? Is it in Cincy?
Cincy. It's
I
in
don't even
Cincy.
think that matters because they got beat last week and the Chargers came into their home and beat them in Cincy, so that don't really mean nothing. I don't know, man. You know what? Nah, I think Jamar Chase has a rebound and
I'm going
come
to take
back.
the
I
Giants
think
over
he
the
go.
Chargers. I'm going to go back a few games. You got
Why are
no
you taking
Mike
the Giants over the
Williams.
Chargers?
You got no Keenan Allen. And in fact,
Wait,
I think
I
you're
know
missing
Mike. I
somebody
know
else,
Mike
too.
Williams is on the COVID list, but what's wrong with Keenan Allen? Is he on the COVID list
COVID.
too? Fuck. Man, they got sick that fast. I don't care. We still got
I take it back. I'm going back with the Chargers.
we still got Jared Cook and I can't remember that number 15's name. I always forget his name. But
I'll take it
he's the
back.
big guy. He's the big guy.
Giants are on their third string quarterback.
Yeah, Mike Glennon ain't even playing.
Jake Fromm starting.
Jake Fromm from freaking Georgia,
Yeah.
bro. He never
And-
threw for over 150 yards at his college. It seemed like.
And Kenny Galladay and Tony have not practiced this week. So
Dude, Jake Fromm is the definition of game manager. He was a game manager in college, and he ain't gonna be no more than that. In
if the
pro.
Chargers lose this game to the Giants practice squad, then kick him out of the NFL.
Yeah, for real.
We could send the Chargers and the Lions to the XFL when it reboots. And hold on, I'm on the Giants Chargers, but we got Bills and Buccaneers.
That's a tasty one.
I'm gonna go the Bills.
I'm going Bucks. I feel like the Bucks just gonna have too much and overpower them. I feel like Fournette is catching his groove at the perfect time of the year.
I just got this weird feeling about the Bucs.
They're just more balanced.
They're
more
a real
balanced.
good team, but I can see the Bucs winning every game from here on out, but I can also see the Bucs losing every game from here on out. Just they're a weird feeling this year. But Bears at Packers. Packers.
That's gonna be a blowout.
Packers are my Super Bowl favorites at this point.
Like Aaron said the first time when he went to Chicago, I still own you. And he does. He still owns them.
Ooh. Monday night game. Back-to-back good ones. Rams at Cardinals.
Oh.
Kyler healthy.
I think the Rams get him again. I mean, I think the Cardinals beat him again. I just think the Cardinals are a better team. I think
it's in Arizona this time.
Minus the Tampa Bay game early in week 3, the Rams have not looked good against the playoff caliber teams at all. Like they've been outplayed. They got outplayed by the Packers. They got outplayed by the Titans.
Right now it's showing in the beginning of the season, yeah, their talent matches up with anyone. Now it's starting to show they don't really got that chemistry on that team yet.
The chemistry is what's wrong. Like, bro, Matt Stafford
I think they're a year out from a Super Bowl.
Was like automatic to begin the season. Cooper Kupp has not even had a 100-yard game in the past 5 weeks. Like, but what?
It honestly, it feels like ever since Robert Woods went down, I know that was just a couple of weeks ago, it really has fallen off the wagon. I know they won last week.
He was like their their emotional heart and soul heartbeat on offense. He didn't have the captain badge for no reason.
I think the Rams are a year out from their real Super Bowl window. I think they need some more time to build that chemistry. The Cardinals, they've had that chemistry since last year, and everyone's healthy. They added some more pieces. It's their time.
I think the Rams need to address the offensive line because I think that's their Achilles heel right now is that Matt Stafford is getting hit too often.
And the thing about Matthew Stafford, it's not like he's come to LA and just shit the bed. Matthew Stafford still came over here and was Matthew Stafford.
Oh yeah.
It's not like he came over to LA and he's not what everyone thought he would. No. The Rams won that trade.
Yeah.
And honestly, if next year I can see Stafford as an MVP candidate. I know it's early and it's not even done with this year, but I think after a whole year in that system, everyone's playing together. You get Robert Woods back. You talking next year? You got Cooper Kupp, Robert Woods, and Odell Beckham as your starting three.
With the full offseason.
You get Cam Akers back at running back. You get your starting running back.
I think him being gone was really set them back a lot because I think what McVay really wanted to do this season was Todd Gurley style, how they were when they went to the Super Bowl was
That came.
like
I'm
Todd
really
Gurley
hoping
was
this
the focal
ACL
point,
doesn't
and
mess him up,
then
bro. I'm really hoping this ACL. I'm just saying he won me over in that playoff game where Goff had that broken thumb against Seattle.
you talking about Cam Akers?
Yeah,
Okay,
and he won that game for him.
I don't remember that game.
Actually, I don't think it was a playoff game. I think it was the last week of the season. They had to beat Seattle, and the Bears had to win or something like that. Bears had to beat Arizona for them to make the playoffs. Goff had a broken or dislocated thumb on his throwing hand, so they just had to rely on the run game. And that was his big coming out party, really. But all right, another long episode. Hopefully
Hey,
this
that's how
one.
we do sometimes.
Hopefully YouTube will let us upload this one.
Yeah.
Uh, all right. You have anything else to say?
Nah, man. Shit seemed like we covered all bases as much as we need to.
We got some. I think we actually had a real good conversation. Honestly, I forgot we were recording. We just have a conversation back and forth today. Usually, I'm kind of subconscious about the camera, but I saw the couple times because I had a wheel fall off the chair. So every time I lean back, I feel like I'm going to fall over. So outside of that, I haven't really been self-conscious of the camera. Probably the most natural one yet. Get better at it.
Easily.
Get better at it. Just hopefully YouTube lets me upload it. I need to get back into kind of posting on TikTok and getting more attention back to the channel. I'll kind of step back, but this is my last week of school. Finals will be done.
Oh, that'll be good.
All I got time for is this podcast and work.
All right, cool. Then we can start doing the NBA stuff. I'm
Yep.
pretty sure that's probably the only reason why we haven't started that, just to not overload you.
I've been swamped. And
Yeah.
also, I want to. I don't know if I want to do a regular show, but I might even post it on this channel. But I kind of want to have like these sit down more non-sports talks.
Talk
I
about
don't know
what?
if you're gonna
Just
I want to bring in. I might just do something where I bring in a random guest every time and talk to them. Just conversation, what's going on in people's lives, what they feel about different stuff going on in the world.
That's cool. That's cool. Shit, I'm open just to talk about general shit. Like, I don't know if you ever heard these guys named Abba and Preach, but they kind of just like, no, they got millions of subscribers. Like, they're big on YouTube. Abba and Preach, bro. You should really look them up because they be covering a bunch of different stuff.
I have been listening to a lot of Joe Rogan at work while I was closing, so I've been kind of getting that vibe. But hey, I might make you first guess. We had that chemistry.
Yeah.
We've had that chemistry since Rossi's, dude.
Yeah. We've had that chemistry. You know, that's why that's why.
Who would have thought it would have been Jordan Lucas and Logic who brought that on, bro?
Right?
I was listening to ISIS, washing some dishes.
And I'm like, wait, hold up. You listen to some Jordan? Wait a minute.
All right.
Bro.
That's it for this week. We'll be back next week. Definitely should have a lot for your schedule. All right.
Peace out, dog.